This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Jezel Kazel from Fairy, Carletta of Hyperion, Aaron Noir from Ragnarok. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/limitbreakradio.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break Radio. With your hosts, Unhero.
I'm sorry, I didn't want this to be weird. I just came here to talk about foreskin.
Kahlo.
It's not my fault you're not a Rico Suave dude.
Juxtaposition.
You've honestly never said one thing I have ever found at all funny, bro.
Escalia.
But seriously, whenever I'm sad, the only fixer is a mixer.
And Mika.
So you tell me, little miss all that, what do you want to do?
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 28, Epic 28.
Why is it 28? Because it's one more episode that we've done and not failed.
Yeah.
Take that, haters.
By virtue of being here, we win.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a pretty sweet gig.
Think about it this way. Everything we've done up till now, we've survived. We have a survival rate of 100%. It's more to be said about some of the other podcasts out there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
I know. Many of them come. Most of them end up going, but Limit Break Radio
remains
endures. Yes.
We're like roaches.
I don't know that we're
the beginning
eternal.
and the end.
I don't know. We disappeared for like a good year and a half.
But we came back.
No. Well, we did.
That's the important part.
We were retooling, damn it.
Reborn.
There's always something to be said about when you stop and you're down and you rise back up again. That's something to be said about it.
That's right.
There was a Batman movie about it.
Like a phoenix from the
we
ashes.
are the Christopher Nolan podcast.
Is that a good thing?
We need to be grittier, guys. Everybody talk like this.
There must always be a Limit Break Radio.
You guys are good at that.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. We are, of course, live in Eorzea, and I got to admit, I'm a little bit late to the studio. I'm a bit tardy today. I've been having, my computer problems persist. I told you guys last week.
Had to run down to Micro Center again.
Yeah. That I was going to get this shit figured out, and I've made good strides. I think the stream is starting to look pretty good here, but still, like, there's still some stability problems, and it's probably going to be another week before I finally get everything in place. But I think everything looks up to par. Everything looks up to snuff.
I can't tell. I mean, much of a difference.
That's right. That's right. I'm not terrible at this. Anyway, all right. So I gotta get into the studio here. But of course, joining me today, we've got Juxtaposition. How you doing, man?
Hello. How you doing?
Good. We've got quite a crowd here tonight. Look at this.
All these people.
Look at all of them. Oh,
look at all of
them. And people in my chair. Tisk tisk.
Get out of the chair.
What is this?
What
is this?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Why?
Oh my God.
Kahlo's a potato.
Why are you a potato?
Why are you a potato?
Kahlo, were you cursed?
With dreadlocks.
Look at me. I'm a badass.
You're really ugly.
I'm a badass.
Why would you choose that hairstyle? 3 feet of fury over there.
Thank you. Yes. 3.5. 3.5 feet of fury.
What is going on?
It's ugly.
Well, look, we've been having some equipment problems, right? And last night, I thought I would take it on myself.
I've been having equipment problems.
We?
We're a team.
Wait. Hang on. Have you been having equipment problems that I don't know about?
Well, I'll tell you what then.
In the bedroom?
The $100 that I raised last night, I'll just take that for myself then.
It doesn't work like that.
You got $100 to change to a potato?
Well, hold on. It wasn't to a potato. Okay,
that doesn't seem worth it.
I think there's a story here.
There's a story here.
I
It was
think you got ripped
$100
off,
for
my
a
friend.
race change.
Okay.
And then I made the mistake of letting the stream vote. And this could have been a lot worse. For a half an hour, Lalafell and Femro were locked dead place.
Oh my!
Like, you have no idea how close I was to being a Femro.
Yeah!
Like, to the point where I'm like, all right, fine, I will take the Lala. Just somebody fucking save me, please.
Kahlo, if I had come into the studio today to find you being a Femro, it would have been the happiest moment of my life.
No! Nika would have never let us live that down.
I'd be okay with that. It'd be an outstanding moment.
It'd be the worst.
It would have been.
It would have been the most darkest time of LBS
It would have
history.
been, yeah, very dark.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what's going on. This doesn't feel right to me.
It's weird.
This doesn't feel right.
Justin, do you still have the card from that camp we sent you to?
Stop right now.
What?
Why are you so cool with this?
What do you mean?
You're not blowing up at him.
Well,
you have to change all T-shirts and shit and posters.
I think we know he's not going to stay.
This is not a permanent change.
First of all,
First of all,
you already wrecked the T-shirts and posters. So if anyone's gonna change, now is the time. Second of all, yes, I do plan on changing back.
That's what I thought.
But I have to wait
because that's the right decision.
I have to wait 2 weeks from today. Because Fairbear came in the other day and saw it and was like, you're not really a girl or a guy. I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, you're not cute. You're ugly. And I'm like, my Lalafell could kick your Lalafell's ass.
No, you look pretty badass. I want to know
I know. So I'm like, my Lalafell could kick your Lalafell's ass. She's like, bring it on. And then like you can see the look in her face when she realized what she'd done. So 2 weeks from now, her and I are going to go toe-to-toe in the Wolves' Den.
Oh, yeah?
My rogue versus whatever she can conjure up in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, okay.
That's a fair fight.
It doesn't matter if it's a fair fight or not. She brought it upon herself.
You're going to do it live on the stream?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I told her if she wants, because she recently got her own account, so she had to start all over again.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
No, she has to use her Lala, because it's Lala versus Lala. So she does technically...
She doesn't have a Lala no more.
Did you delete Fairbears?
No, she changed into Aura.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, a while ago.
She's going to have to change back now.
She'll change back.
It's Lala versus Lala.
Oh, she'll change back.
Yep. So look forward to it.
I don't know that I can.
Too bad you can't actually do 1v1 in the Wolves' Den.
What we'll do is we'll get the people to go into a Wolves' Den, then everybody else will just watch.
There'll be the only 8 people in there.
Well,
we could make a tournament out of it. Have a whole bunch of LBR crew. I bet I could take a Nero on. He doesn't seem that strong.
First of all, I've got to get myself like a totally working, stable computer, and
you got 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, based on my experience in the last 2 weeks, I don't know that I hold out much hope.
Well, it doesn't really matter anyway because we can't have the full crew there because somebody went and jumped ship like a coward.
I was gonna say we've got an empty chair here today.
Kookie's not sitting in it?
No, Kookie is.
Okay, good.
Who's in my chair?
Ryuichi.
God damn it, Ryu.
Ryu, get out of here.
Well, actually, Nika, you're in my chair. Ryu is in your chair, yes.
In my chair, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
my nutkin's on my head.
So Ascalia, what's the deal? Did you like disconnect before you got here? Why aren't you here?
What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you over all the awesome on Balmung server.
Baldong.
Boo.
Really?
Oh, coming from Sergeant Anus over there.
Really? Did you know that's actually the way that our little text-to-speak pronounces it?
Sergeant Anus?
Like, specifically, it's like Sergeant Anus. It actually says Anus because someone donated last night and put our server name in there.
You know what? You know what? Fuck it. At least we have a military designation. I mean, at least we're ranked. At least we're ranked. Fuck it. Fuck it. Who cares?
But you are coming back, right?
Yes, I will return eventually.
Boo!
But no, I jumped over.
Buddha leaving, Buddha coming back.
Which one?
You didn't go far enough away.
Give me time. I'll be going to a different server eventually.
Go
I'm on
to a
server
different
tour.
game.
Go to a different data center.
Oh my God! Go to a different game. I heard no end of it when I went to 11.
That's because you went to 11. If you went to
What
like
the
a
hell do you want?
decent
man.
game.
Hello Kitty
Let
Island
me
Adventure.
go play Bejeweled for an hour, you ass.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. Okay, so I said hey to Juxtaposition. We've also got Kahlo Landis, Escalia, Raimasa.
Excuse me.
What?
I am now Lalo Landis.
Oh my
Jesus.
Lalo Landis or Lala Landis?
I'm a girl, Lala Landis.
It's cute.
Kahlo Lalandis.
You won't refer to me by my slave name, Kahlo Landis, anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so we've also...
Really, we're starting off early today, are we? Not wasting any time on episode 28.
I can't make a Roots reference, for Christ's sake. The movie's been out for fucking almost 20 years. Anyway,
racist.
Also, Nika Kayanian joins us, of course, over
Hi.
Skype. I see you haven't changed much. You're still the beefy femro, as usual.
Of course. My hair's different, though.
Look at them dump truck hands.
Did you notice her haircut, Nero? Did you notice?
Of course not.
Never noticed.
No,
What a
why would I?
scumbag.
Why would I?
I change my hair all the time. There we go.
Don't let him off the hook. This, like,
No, I'm not one of those women who is like that. Okay, they will get on your case for not
do me a
noticing
favor.
things.
Do me a favor. Put Senpai on the mic for a minute.
yeah, I want the real story here.
Because the amount of-
it doesn't
That'll be
matter.
for a different day.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we say, because
Yeah.
we're fucking assholes.
Guys,
That
well,
you
not to
expect
mention-
that kind of shit out of
Not
us.
to mention how many times you've gone out on a date with a girl, right? And she's like, no, I'm not one of the crazy ones. I don't get upset over shit like that. Bullshit.
Yeah.
2 weeks later.
Yeah. Fast forward to them fucking putting cherry bombs in your mailbox, and
Whoa.
yeah, and
That's really specific.
well, hey, I'm just speaking from experience. Shit gets weird, man. Anyway, all right. So let's talk a little bit of news. And before we talk about FF14 news, because God knows there's so much.
Always.
We got a
Let's
two-parter episode today.
let's talk. Yeah, right. Because it's definitely that's necessary. So let's talk really quick about Limit Break Radio. What's going on with us? Last week, I'm sure some of you noticed around the time that episode number 27 got posted live to our website over at limitbreakradio.com. People were getting some 500 internal server errors and not being able to download the show immediately. That was a problem. We did have some problems with our server.
The episode was that awesome.
So many people were slamming our servers that it was a problem.
6 million hits.
Taking a few tips from Square Enix. They're like, look, when something new comes out, disconnect a few people here and there. They'll go mad for it.
Yeah,
get
it just
ravenous.
makes them try that much harder. Anyway, no, we've been working with our awesome servers over at DreamHost, which if you need a good hosting package, dude, DreamHost is the place to go.
We've been with them forever. We've been with DreamHost longer than we've been with Juxta.
Yeah, I think that might actually be accurate.
That's very true.
DreamHost has been a part of Limit Break Radio for a long time.
Look at him grimacing over there.
He's like, I can't find a drop fast enough that expresses my anger. So we've been working really closely with them, and we think we've got service pretty much restored. If you noticed earlier in the week, we also took down some of the additional plugins, like the live Twitch notifications and stuff like that. Some of that stuff has started to come back, and we're slowly going to reintroduce those features as the week go on, but we don't want to go back to overloading our servers again. So we really do thank you guys for your patience. It didn't slow you guys down from downloading the show at all. At 23K the last time I looked a couple of days ago.
Within a week?
Inside of a week.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Y'all are stepping it up.
Really, honestly, you guys must be. I don't know if you're telling your friends or your free companies, or if you're just like, listen to this fucking asshole go off about shit that doesn't really matter.
I know that they can share like crazy because I only had like 50 to 60 people in the stream last night. And
Yeah.
when the straw poll ended,
There was like 115.
There was 115, which means that people were like sending it to like their LSs, right? Because I'm sitting here begging people, don't let Femrose win.
Everyone go vote for Femro quick.
I'm like clicking refresh, and it's like, Femro ahead by 1, Lala ahead by 1, tied, Femro by 1, Lala about like.
Yeah.
I actually went back and checked afterwards, like after I closed it, right?
Yeah.
Femro won by 1, but it was closed at that point.
I wish I had known because I could have sent my whole Femro link shell to you.
There was a reason you didn't know. There was a reason. There was a reason. We really do appreciate your patience, guys, and thank you. Of course, these episodes, if you're just checking out the show for the very first time live here today, right now, of course, thank you very much. We've got 219 people listening as of this very moment. And
some might be RMTs.
Yeah, some
Stiltskin Moogle says I've been telling RMTs when they send me messages. That might be why.
That's funny because
Mr. Yoshida, why has Limit Break Radio been associated with 820,000 RMT tells?
Yeah, about that.
We don't know. We have no idea. Because we do know that they're monitoring our chat logs fairly closely.
Yeah,
so
more on that later.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. Just saying. Maybe just don't do that. Anyway, if this happens to be your first time checking out the show live here on twitch.tv, again, thank you. We hope that you hit that follow button and that you come back and join us all the time because we are here each and every single Sunday doing the show live, generally about 2, but we're getting a late start today because of Lalo Land, whatever the fuck your fucking stupid name is over here.
There's the salt.
Deciding that he's got to go to his fucking job that pays him money so he can live and shit like that. So
selfish bastard.
Yeah, you
sorry guys.
Fucking prick. Anyway.
Hey. You douchebag.
Anyway, we're a little bit late today. We have another show that we do called Final Encountercast. We haven't done a mini Encountercast or a Final Encountercast in quite a while. We're not going to do one after this show today, again, because of the late start, you fucking prick. Why you got to do this? Why you got to do this to us? We say that we're going to do a Final Encountercast, and then you're like, oh, I can't be here until 7 o'clock.
Y'all could always do it without me.
Oh, yeah.
I just see... Here's how I know that you guys love me, right? Right?
Oh, okay.
If Ascali's like, guys, I can't make it, you're like, all right, cool, man, we'll see you next week. If Nika can't make it, oh, no problem. Next week, next time you can come, it'll be fine. You do what you have to do, right? But if it's me or Juxta... you bend over backwards for us, man.
You know what?
You really love us. No, there's no way you can spin this for it to be
I'd
the
say
contrary.
something, but
you
the
know
truth
it.
in there really hurts.
Yeah.
We're pretty butthurt about it.
You know what, Nika? We're gonna go start our own show.
Good luck with
in.
it.
Count me in.
Good luck with that.
We'll go to Palmung and make
Come on, everyone else does it. Apparently, we can too.
Remember earlier we were talking about those podcasts that die out way too soon?
Yeah, right. Call it Femro Lives Matter and just be done with it. There you go.
Jesus.
Anyway, yeah, no, it is. It is kind of a pain in the ass to do the show when the two of you aren't here because he runs buttons and
I'm amazing.
Well, no, you just compliment my jokes pretty well.
I touch the buttons like nobody else.
I don't know about you. You throw roadblocks and everything.
That's the goal. That's what I'm here for. Cash that paycheck.
He's got a camera.
And
he's got the camera.
I've got the camera.
And
I cannot tell you how nervous I am about the day where you say, "Hey, with the fun this week, I think we're going to look at getting a camera." I'm like, "Well, my job security's gone.
We're going to get a GoPro." And Nika, you're just you're the token, right? Like that's
token boobs.
Yeah, you can't live without me.
She doesn't even
I know you need me. So it's okay.
It's fun. Yeah. It's funny because all of you guys are always really good about the jokes that we tell, even when we get really mean. So yeah.
So really what it is that we are willing to put up with the abuse that others might not be.
Well, again, I don't know, man. There's a lot of FF14 shows that have sort of fallen by the wayside.
I think they might be taking applications, so ex-LBR host might have a little bit of weight to it. Then again.
I'm sorry. I thought it was garbage.
Mr. Happy, if you're listening.
Anyway, so we've had some problems with the site. We've been having problems with our streaming computer. My main gaming computer, my main gaming rig. But fortunately, we've been able to work through these problems and troubleshoot these problems, mostly because of your support over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio.
Pretty pimp new cooling system in there, man.
Yeah, it is a pretty great new cooling system, and the best part is that it's quiet. And with how hot it gets in this room, it's also efficient too. Those are things that we need to be able to do the show and make it sound as amazing as it does. And you guys help provide that. And again, your steady funding over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio allows us to do the show that we do. And the thing that I get bummed out about when one of you guys say that you can't be here is that, like, ostensibly, that's why people are giving us money over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio, is that so all of us can be here each and every single week. And now I get it. Escalia, you were totally worn out from Seeds of Acceptance. Nika, you had been at Otakon. Those are valid reasons. Work is a valid reason. I'm just giving you shit.
I know.
Work is a valid reason. But of course, that is why people give at patreon.com/limitbreakradio, is so that the voices that the personalities that you've gotten to to trust and allow into your homes and into your headphones each and every single week, that
into your head,
especially your homes,
especially your rooms
around the corner.
We are in your
waiting.
We are in your ear holes. So,
oh my goodness, Nero!
Let me tickle your ears with my tongue.
Wow,
what?
Sorry, I don't know.
That was the next level. We were going there.
I'm like, wow, Nika's actually getting kind of creepy for once, and then Nero's just like, nope,
I ain't not letting that
Time
stand.
to
I
step this one up a
I
notch.
can one up that for sure.
Tonguing the big black mic.
I literally did.
We know.
That happened.
I saw.
So, of course, you make all of this possible with your funding over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. And we thank you so much. And because you guys have been so patient with our givebacks, our premiums for our kickbacks for anyone who gives over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. I'm going to keep plugging that site. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not just going to say our Patreon site. I'm going to say the fucking full URL each and every single time, so you don't forget it.
And Nero goes the extra mile.
Well, hey, it's important. But because you guys have been so patient, and a lot of you who have gotten T-shirts and posters, we know that we've been waiting on the art from Max V, and we do have something exciting to share here on the show today. And this is again, you guys have made this possible, and it does kind of feel weird with you being a Lalafell.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
But with the other dick being an aura, that's fine.
I've come to accept that.
At least I'm changing back. Okay,
Yeah,
2 weeks from now, I'll be an aura too.
Fair enough.
2 weeks from now, I might even be.
Whoa!
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what? Roll that back a second.
I'm gonna change into an aura.
No, why?
Well, because
Dick ninjas.
No, well, obviously, but I mean, Ascalia is doing a fucking server tour. I can't do a race tour. Spread a little bit of my love to all the races of Eorzea.
If you were choosing good races,
Except I know you're not going to pick Femra, so I can't approve of this.
hey, for once,
By the way, you
Nika
guys
and I
have
are
all
on
been
the
very
same
supportive
page.
of the server tour. By the way,
I'm gonna be an aura, and then I'll be a Highwur, and then I'll be maybe a male row,
just maybe,
and then I'll go back to Ellison.
You better in the end go back to Ellison because we've got this amazing art to show off here, and this is probably going to display really big when I insert it into
always
the
does.
stream. So you guys get a nice a nice, really cool look at that. This wonderful art here from Max V that's going to be on our Patreon exclusive T-shirts and posters. Again, you can pick these up over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio.
I'm actually surprised that she got Ascalia's nose. Like, I mean, it's big. I didn't think she was gonna get it so close to how it actually is, but I appreciate the detail. What?
For all the insults I've taken since my first appearance on LBR, that's a new one.
You got a big nose, bro.
I do?
We're going to make you self-conscious about stuff just because.
I've never been self-conscious about that in my entire life. But
now you
take
are.
a minute to go check the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Now you are. Congratulations. Anyway, all right. There's the image in its full glory right there. I love the work that Max V has done for this. I'm so excited to get a T-shirt for myself of this. I'm super excited to get a poster. Yeah, we're gonna get really nice posters printed up, and so if you want one of these, again, that's available over at our Patreon page, and you can find out what the different gift levels get. And we really do appreciate your support. It allows us to be able to operate and to be able to do things like
live.
Well, not just that, but I mean, we're able to do the show each and every single week because of your support, and we're able to throw a ton of resources at things like this new computer that I've subsequently had to build and rebuild,
and we're probably gonna have to do a nose job now. He's over there hiding his fucking nose from us.
I'm a freak.
I thought you were his character's nose. Are you talking about his nose?
Yeah, no, both.
You can say what you want about my nose, but Ascalia's nose is beautiful. Piss off.
Anyway, we've had our total bounce around on Patreon. It's sitting at $16.08 right now, and again, anything that you can give, $1 a month, $5 a month, that is the way to give long-term support here to Limit Break Radio, month over month. That's what we do. We of course appreciate your support on PayPal when we do ridiculous things like race change to a potato.
We actually have two questions from the chat. Someone wants to know: is it going to come in gray or will it be colored?
Max did mention something about doing colors. I don't know. I don't know if that's her plan. If she is doing colors, we could do an option for black and white or color.
That would be cool. And then someone else wants to know: was that Nika in the center?
No, that was me. That was a Nero.
Oh, that was a Nero in the center, guys. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, that was Carletta, and I know she's joking because she loves us and I love her.
Troll comment is hilarious. Anyway. No. Thank you, guys, for your support, and we hope that that you'll considering, if you're new to the show, that you'd consider checking out patreon.com/Limit Break Radio, and maybe toss a couple of bucks our way. But again, we do fun stuff, stupid stuff over PayPal with the stream all the time. We do serious stuff with PayPal, like Ascalia and Seeds of Acceptance, which by the way, have you officially handed over the check?
Yep, I made the donation on Thursday, which was an amazing experience. I
actually do want to ask you about this, because that had to be a really good feeling. To
take everyone's money and then give it away.
Yeah, I mean that's a sizable check, like $2,100. A little peel back behind the curtain here, guys, but $2,100, I think for any of us in this room, it's kind of a tidy
It's the biggest check I've ever written in my life, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because, that had to come out of here.
Because it came out, yeah. So that's why it took so long, because PayPal will only transfer so much to your bank account until you, go through all their verifications. Right. So I had to get through all that before I could actually transfer the sum to my account and do it. That's why it took so long.
Goddamn PayPal and all their red tape.
Yep. Yeah. But I did get to go drop off the check, which they were thrilled, and it was awesome. We got everything.
How did you explain it? Did they ask you about the event? I'm sure that just walking in there, you don't just nonchalantly do that. You don't just be like, here's $2,100, bye.
Here's money.
Here, I'm gonna just set this down on the table and you guys just do whatever. I'm gonna see.
I started coming to that conclusion as I'm walking in. I'm like, how do I handle this? Do I just walk up, be like, I'd like to make a donation, or kick the door open, and be like, I got money, come take it from me. No. Well, I walked up and like they started talking to me about the event, like what's the occasion for the donation was basically what they asked.
Right,
And I told them about Seeds of Acceptance, and they asked some questions about that. And it was really cool. They thanked me for it. They showed me around the place a little bit, which I mean I'd already seen it before, but nevertheless they took me around.
Yeah,
that was
the
cool.
obligatory $2,000 tour.
Well, he cracked the 4-digit mark. I guess we can give him a tour.
Didn't they tell you to come in like on a specific day too?
I had to come in on a specific day because they are run completely by volunteers. So they wanted to have like a day when their actual like employed accountant would be there to like actually get the check for fairly obvious reasons. The best part about the entire thing was leaving the building and having gotten a parking ticket while making the donation.
Oh, no!
I got a $35 parking ticket in Ferndale.
Are you
for being illegally parked?
Are you shitting
Why
me?
did you park illegally? That's your own fault.
I didn't mean to.
No, parking in Ferndale sucks.
Yeah,
it does. Fucking stupid.
It was not very clearly labeled that place was not okay to park.
That's one of the easier cities to get a parking ticket.
Okay, now hold on.
Anyway,
the more important thing is, did you get a receipt?
Yeah, I did get the receipt.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Says our own.
We can write that off.
Says our in-house.
They said they'd mail it to
says
me.
Our in-house account.
Well, no,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You can write that off.
I know. That's what I said.
Yeah. No, we definitely should. Anyway, okay, so that's awesome, Ascali. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's really great.
When does the comedy start?
Anyway, yeah. So let's talk about some Final Fantasy XIV news.
There's the comedy.
Yeah, right. We have seen patch 3.07 drop, and with it came a bunch of changes to a bunch of different jobs. Yeah, mostly the new jobs, but a couple, like Monk is in there. So Dark got a buff to help its TP loss, which I didn't really realize was a huge problem. But okay, sure. Astrologians got a buff to help it keep up healing. Machinists got a quick reload buff, and more Monk buffs than it really probably needed. But
by that you mean Monk buffs.
But absent from this list, I mean, there were quite a few jobs that got buffed, but absent from this list
was Ninja.
Right?
The fuck?
What does Ninja need?
Come on. Well, first of all, our Dick Ninja moves that we got, Shade Walker and Smoke Bomb,
completely don't work.
Should not be dispellable. Okay, you guys should not be able to click them off.
And for starters.
And Smoke Bomb should work on tanks.
And it's bugged. And it doesn't work on tanks.
Not to mention, if we both use the same one on someone, they overwrite each other. They should obviously be simultaneous.
It should stack like regen.
Right. Regen stacks?
It sure does.
But our fucking Shade
it doesn't.
Square Enix. You know what?
Stop shaming me!
You know what? I'm going to take this up to the 18th floor. That's what I'm going to do.
I just have to say, I'm in the studio. I'm seated between these two guys, and it's like having idiocy in stereo. I mean, it's just like I'm getting it from both ends here.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
What?
Idiocy. You mean awesomeness.
No. I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, absent from the list is Paladin, which everyone...
Does Paladin need buffs?
Everyone is kind of... Yeah, yes.
Well, okay, there's...
Nika, what?
Well, okay,
explain what.
So
let's ask our resident goddamn Paladin, who, by the way, I noticed is wearing a great axe.
Yeah, and let me tell you why.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, our resident Paladin juxtaposition. I mean, you have a giant picture of you as a Paladin on our mantelpiece.
I sure do.
Yeah.
Well, for starters...
Stop.
Paladin doesn't need any
It's hard. I'm not there. I can't silence you in person. It's very difficult to get a word in.
Are you trying to tell Anir to turn off his mic?
I feel like we should all get some kind of we all get one per episode where we can just cut off Juxta's mic at any point.
No,
we just say
no.
We just say it like it's like
I
we're saying
use mine now.
It's like we're saying the safe word or something.
LBR safe word.
An LBR safe word that automatically cuts Juxta off.
See, my mind immediately went to rumpcock.
Yeah.
But then what if we just want to use it in passing conversation?
That does happen a lot.
I don't know. Since the introduction of the rumpcock, we haven't made that many references to it on the show. I was just thinking the other day, for an emote in our Twitch chat, it sure doesn't get mentioned there on the show.
If you want, from now on, we can have like a little 60-minute segment where I just spew off random facts about the Rumpcock.
So you can fill 60 minutes?
Seconds, I said.
You said minutes.
You said
You
minutes.
definitely said
Oh,
minutes.
well, I meant seconds.
I'm holding you to the hour-long Rumpcock segment. We're going to make it its own show. It's going to be called The Drunk History of Rumpcock, and we're going to feed you rum before it. How about that?
All right.
All right, cool. That's going to be...
The rum.
I feel like if people want to mute me, they should need to spend money.
It's it's a thematic.
a $10 donation.
Whoa! Wait a minute! Whoa! Hang on. Is this for like we actually?
What? No.
This is an idea coming from you.
That is a great idea.
No, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I just thought
Wait, no.
I'm just surprised it's coming from him.
No,
that he's willing to get like
say what you will about Juxta, but he is a pioneer when it comes to capitalism. Okay,
I'm an action figure.
No, that one ain't saving you here.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, no, that was a joke.
Do we want to get serious about this though?
I don't know.
I want to get serious.
How much?
I don't know. 10.
I am super serious.
Yeah,
about this.
10's too. No, that's definitely too steep. That's too steep.
Too steep.
Too steep.
Too steep.
Well,
I think
you raised $100 in an hour.
To race change to a potato.
All right, well, hold on, because you think it should be. You think people?
I don't know. I don't know. 10. No, 10 seems fair. I was gonna say.
For how long?
10 for 10 seconds.
No.
Oh no.
No, 10 for 10 minutes.
You are not a $1 a second personality, my friend.
No.
You know what?
That's how good I am.
10 for 10 minutes.
No, that's way too much.
Well, no, because here's the thing.
No, because then because that just opens up to piling on, because people will just pile on the donations until and he just won't have a mic the entire show.
Someone will do a $60 donation. He gets to go home.
That doesn't mean he can't. Look. Obviously,
we don't want to put him back to intern status here.
Well, we can say
Don't
only
we?
so many per show count or something.
we could put a cap on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, all right, how long do you think then? 10 bucks
10 for
what?
5?
No, 10 for 5 is it. I mean, like $10 for a minute, 60 seconds. I think that's fair.
$10 for 60 seconds.
You're buying influence onto the show.
I thought we were never selling that.
This is the only way that anyone can buy any level of influence to the way that this show operates. I mean, yeah, you can call the show. You can try to be disruptive. You can be disruptive in the chat.
Oh yeah, people do that.
But honestly, if there was a way that you wanted to really affect the show, there's no way that you can do that. No Patreon level gets you to like have some sort of input on what we do. But this is a direct way to influence that. I think that's worth something.
What did I start?
Why don't we just put this on the? We'll think about it.
We can always test it out. You know, if we want them banned more, I mean, I guess we can adjust the price.
We could do specials if he's being
especially irritable.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
On the reset stream, we can do like 2 for 5 Tuesdays.
I demand that all this money counts as my streamer bonus money.
No.
All right, that's fair. Let's put it to a vote. All those in favor?
I
wait.
No.
Wait.
Let's do it.
Wait. You didn't say what we were voting on.
No, he's right. All those in favor of the money raised this way being put towards Juxta's streamer bonus, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
All right, 4-1, you lose.
I will end you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Well,
We said to the accountant.
That would mean I think that would mean we would have to turn the donations on, like the notifications on. So that,
are they not on at all, or is it just the sounds that are turned off?
No, they're on. You just don't have any sound.
Yeah, there's no sound during the show, because it would actually be impossible for us to pull. It would be a lot of.
I feel like with as many people as we have in the chat, and with us being between us and the chat, I don't think we'd completely miss any.
You don't?
No, I don't think so.
So you don't think we need to turn on the audio? Because I mean, there'd be no way to put it on the podcast is the problem.
Oh, I mean, do you think that would be a disruption?
You don't think having there goes $10 in the pod, Jux's mic is off every time someone donates is going to be disruptive at all?
I don't think that many people are.
He's trying so hard to talk us out of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. He just talked himself into a corner and he knows it.
Yeah, I think it's at least worth trying once.
None of this was funny at all.
I agree. I think it is worth trying at least once.
Yeah.
So volume or no? I mean, we're doing this now.
We're doing it now. Let's turn this sound effects on.
We're gonna do it live.
Doing it live.
All right.
What the hell?
Fine. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it live.
These Paladin buffs suck.
If you want to hashtag ban Juxta. We're gonna get real pandery with it. $10, just toss $10 into the PayPal, and he loses his mic for a full 60 seconds.
I would suggest waiting for a point where he's like talking, like when he's in mid rant about something. That's when you need to toss it in there.
Yeah, be clever about it. You gotta pick your timing. Don't.
There's always a delay when you donate to before it shows up.
Don't just be egregious. And by the way, if you're gonna make a call here to Limit Break Radio today, which you
better not donate $10.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Which by the way, if you're gonna call the show today, send a Skype message to Limit Break Radio on Skype, or 810-515-8715 is the number to call in. Let us know what you think of the idea of the hashtag ban Juxta. What do you think of?
Is it too steep? Should we charge more? Is the time long enough?
Yeah, let us know. What do you think? All right,
are we assholes for even trying?
That's why we want callers, not about the job buffs or the
no, we
news
do
or
want
the new
that.
event. None of that.
We do want that, but we also want to know about that. But yeah, if you have something to say about any of these job buffs, or we're going to be talking about the Rising event here in a minute, and also we've got limit breaking music coming up a little bit later on in the show. If you want to comment on any of those, you can give us a call, 810-515-8715, or Limit Break Radio on Skype. All right, Nika, did you actually?
I was going to say, back to the actual thing at hand. Nika, Paladin stuff.
Yeah,
go.
Nika never actually fucking answered this.
Show us how you rant. Show us how you rant. This is like your chance. I don't think you've ever really had a chance to rant on air, except when we were bashing public school funding. So here's your chance.
Okay, I don't rant like a Nero rants. Okay, I rant logically and practically. Okay, so here we go.
That's boring.
Okay, so there are tons of people who will tell you that Paladin is okay, and let me tell you why they're wrong. Okay, first of all, we give Monk buffs. Now Monk has never been struggling for DPS. Why Monk got so many buffs, I don't know. Now don't get me wrong, I play Monk. I loved the buffs. Were they needed? Not really. The 2-second grease lightning is great. The rest not really needed. So now we get to Paladin and we get to the tanks. There is something that is been basically, people don't want Paladins. You may be fooled because the census says that Paladin is the most played tank. However, when you look at endgame and you look at the clear parses, the world firsts are not using Paladins. That is simply because the most difficult mechanic in endgame, like I told before, we're mentioning before, is the DPS checks. Paladin has no DPS, okay? Now, that's okay in concept. If you compare Paladin to the other tanks, don't think about the game, don't think about the mechanics, don't think about endgame, just think about Paladin, Dark Knight, and Warrior. You can see the trade-off. Paladin has a little bit more survivability. They have Hallowed Ground, which is way better than Home Gang or the zombie move, whatever it's called. They have that. So as a tank, okay, fair. We trade the DPS for some more survivability. But then you take that kind of tank and you stick it in a game where DPS is literally the only thing that matters. Why would you ever want a Paladin in that case? You don't.
Well, I mean, you guys got that big ass defensive move in the 50 to 60 jump, right? Like what? I forget what that.
Which move are you talking about?
Sheltron.
Sheltron is shit. Like Sheltron needs some kind of fix. Like I can rant about Sheltron more than any of the other ones, actually, because in the reveal trailer for Heaven's Ward, they show the Paladin using Sheltron, right? It looks like this big one-person, like, limit break defensive cooldown, right?
Right, yeah.
No, and what it does is it guarantees you a shield block. And a shield block is like a parry. It's 20% reduction. It guarantees you a shield block on a physical move for a little bit of MP recovery.
That sounds terrible.
That's it. Now Warrior got this move where for 30 seconds or 20 seconds, everything parries.
So now,
Paladin gets one guaranteed shield block on a physical move where all of the bosses are magical damage almost exclusively.
Now this is just something that I've kind of heard secondhand here, and that is that that Paladin doesn't have as much magic mitigation techniques.
Rampart and Sentinel mitigate magic.
And but that some of the biggest hits are coming from magic damage, especially in newer raids, and so that it effectively makes it fucking useless.
When you start to compare it with the bosses that we have, when the new move they give us, Sheltron, literally only matters in terms of the physical damage, and the Paladin's biggest debuff is the strength down that you get from using Rage of Halone, and everything's magical. Whereas Warrior's using like the slashing debuff, which is good all around and that kind of stuff. Paladin loses its main debuff because it barely uses physical attacks. Almost all of the bosses use almost exclusively magic. Like auto attacks are physical. It's like, what's the point in that case?
That sounds like a serious problem. Square Enix has had a chance with 3.07 to address this. They clearly didn't.
And there's so much more though. They give us clemency, right? It's a great self-heal. You heal your party member. You get part of the heal yourself. It's great. It is such a long casting time, and it can be interrupted. You can never ever use it in an endgame situation, ever. So it's like they give us these moves that are so cool in theory, and then they're like, nope, you can't use these.
All right, well, let's ask Dr. Juxta. Juxta, how can we fix this Paladin problem? What is your opinion?
Well, actually, the Astrologian had like a problem similar to the automatic block with Disable, where the next move that the boss did would reduce its damage by 10%. And they fixed that by making the next moves, like all the moves within like a duration of like 10 seconds,
so that they
all
fixed
reduced.
That one.
Yeah, they fixed it. So they should do like the same to the Paladin block, where everything gets blocked in the next like 6 seconds or whatever to help.
Yeah, Warrior got that with parry, so it makes sense why
just
Paladin.
So it doesn't get eaten by an auto attack.
So you think that Paladin should get good? Yes, I agree. Paladin should get good.
That's what I said.
Okay, my problem is necessarily, like, I am okay with Paladin being a defensive tank in exchange for damage if the hardest mechanic in this game wasn't DPS checks right now. Like, I'm thinking the hard enrage that this game currently works on in terms of its end game is kind of stupid, right? Enrage in 11 made sense because there were parties there waiting to claim the mob if you wiped, right? So that makes sense. But if you're in an instance, if you were actually in an instance, there is nobody else there, and whether or not you wipe or how long it takes you to kill doesn't matter, why impose such hard DPS checks? Paladin would be useful as a defense, like literally a wall, a defense tank, if they could, like, oh crap, 4 people just wiped, let me buff myself and hold the boss for 30 seconds while the healer, raises everyone and we can recover. And then they could actually like play around with the mechanics of the fight and make those a little more difficult if the DPS check didn't have to be so difficult. So then that way people would want Paladins for progression, because if you wiped, the Paladin would be able to, do what it's good for, be defensive. But if they're going to continue with the you need this much DPS, Paladins just don't have that DPS. And while I think as a concept, I am totally fine with them not having DPS, but for them to keep up in this game, they need it. That's the problem. They're kind of like...
I don't know. See, the thing is that, it all ends up evening out over time, because the DPS checks get less steep as you end up adding more gear. And we've been talking about this as everyone has been adding ESOs over the last couple of weeks, and as people are adding gear from Alexander Savage, the DPS checks aren't as tight, right? Like you get to open up.
What does that have to say for progression?
That's not really fair to say that Paladin you can only do Savage in like 2 months when everyone has ESO gear. Like
I think that's valid. But
granted,
I also,
the trade-off is you'll eventually be the best at those when the DPS are able to handle all the DPS checks on their own. Having a powerful defensive tank, you'll be the best at it later.
No,
but that doesn't feel like a fair enough trade-off. Like trade for that,
What level's your warrior?
My warrior is 57. Yeah, that's the thing. What I feel is that I feel like I have to level warrior just to be useful to my group. Like, how many times in A1 Savage...
That's unfortunate.
We wiped with 2%, and I'm thinking if I was a warrior, we would have cleared because I would have done that 2%. You know what I mean? And
that's legit. That's legit. I totally understand. And you know what? That's an unfortunate thing when that ends up happening. And that's definitely an indication that the job needs some development and it needs some balancing. But one of the things that we kind of rolled our eyes at when the Heavensward updates came around and we got to see what the new job abilities were for the new jobs, in terms of Paladin, we kind of all rolled our eyes when we were like, they get like some DPS stuff now. They're just making them, they're making all of the tanks a little bit more samey. And
I mean, they gave Paladin Royal Authority, which is their DPS finisher, which is okay. But if you actually want to use that enough, which actually now that we've like cleared A1 Savage, I can completely knock Haloni out of my rotation and do more DPS. And I've managed to get about 100 more DPS in my rotation. But for progression, that's, you don't ever want to do that. But the thing is, like, their answer was like, here's one like combo finisher that you can sometimes use in certain situations, and there's Paladin's DPS. And you're like, no, that's not fair, because Warrior gets all these things that ignore Defiance's damage down. They get a DPS stance they can swap into on the fly and do tons of damage and then swap back to their tank stance. Paladin gets none of that.
Oh, and isn't that that Warrior thing, isn't that off the global cooldown?
Yeah, Defiance. Defiance and Deliverance are on their own cooldown.
Isn't Paladin Sword Oath also on the global cooldown?
Sword and Shield Oath are on their global cooldown. Defiance and Deliverance are on their own cooldown.
Oh, that's funny how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah, that is kind of a kick in the dick.
And especially because Warrior is all based on like building up stacks and using big moves. But if you switch from Defiance to Deliverance and back and forth, it like swaps the stacks to the DPS stacks and back to the tank stacks. You don't even have to like earn new stacks when you switch stances. So like Warrior's really OP right now.
Yeah, the other thing is, somebody said in the chat that, the DPS needs to work harder and the tanks shouldn't be doing DPS. Well, yeah, tanks should be doing DPS. I think that is an important part. I think that the option to get good DPS should exist within a job, and it just is a matter of playing it correctly, which I think that was the case kind of in the 2.0 Warrior days, where it was like you could get decent damage out of it if you knew how to work it right. Yeah. And that should be an option that exists to Paladin, or the benefits on the other side of it should be so overwhelming that that it's clear. Although the dangers of that is that then an entire fight could hinge on the difference between taking a Paladin and a Warrior, which I realize that's sort of what you're running up against now. And it's just sort of like, how much of that do we want to balance out, and do we want to end up making Paladin more like other tanks to bring its DPS up in order for it to be for it to be relevant. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with like healer DPS, because progression in raids is sort of dependent, at least early on, like Nika was saying, on such tight DPS checks. And so healer DPS has become a major part of the equation when it comes to progressing. And, not every player knows how to do that, and not every healing job gets to output the same amount of DPS. But there's a problem. I don't know what the answer is.
This is what the answer is, okay? Because
it's hard in rage and DPS checks. That's the way that this game is made. Well, is a problem.
Hold on, because a lot of people are saying, oh well, you said, do we then make Paladin more like other tanks and let them do DPS? The problem isn't making them more like other tanks because they do DPS. What you need to do is allow them to do DPS, because obviously they do need it, but they need to feel differently.
Right.
All DPS do DPS. Does that mean they're the same? Fuck no, they're not the same. A lot of them operate differently, obviously. Yeah. So come up with some new mechanic for Paladins. Maybe they get some new move that when they get crit, or, as they're taking damage, they can build up and unleash some huge thing, that the other tanks don't have. And that goes hand in hand with the fact that they take the damage, or they mitigate so much of it back at what they're fighting.
We talked about it a few months ago, where we were worried about job homogenization, with all the jobs becoming way too similar.
Totally.
And this is kind of where SC's at a point where if you take the stance of making Paladin a higher DPS tank, that's what you're doing, is you're homogenizing your tank jobs. But at the same time, it is rough to make your current mechanics lock out Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin's current niche is that they are the easiest tank to play, so that means they get less damage and less good cooldowns. And we also have a caller on the line, Castron Odell, who also wants to join in on bashing Paladins.
What's up, Castron? How's it going?
Welcome to the Bash Fest.
Paladin blows.
It does.
Yeah. It's not going to be good until they change it. I don't care what anybody says in chat. If you guys have been looking at chat and reading what area, I don't know, Kipling is who that is.
Yeah,
He's been saying
Kipling.
everything correct about Paladin the whole time. They can't do anything in AS4 because they don't have enough damage.
Yep.
If you put all the same gear on a Paladin and give it a hive weapon, and you give all the same gear to Dark Knight, Paladin actually has 10 less strength than the other two tank classes.
And that's the thing. Like, I've always been a Paladin, and I've been okay with Paladin's trade-off of... Paladin has always been a defensive job for the lack of DPS. It's just when you have a game where the DPS is what matters, and, the rest of it is just like, oh, you can master all the mechanics, but it won't matter without the DPS, then, like, it's not like the Warriors and the Dark Knights are dying and you need a Paladin to survive. So it's like, if you take a Paladin who's a super-duper awesome survivor for low DPS, or you take a Warrior or Dark Knight who's, they're surviving and they do a lot more DPS, which one are you going to choose?
Well, here's the thing, though, is like most of these PvE events aren't really designed for progression groups. Like, they're not. I don't think that they're designed fully with progression groups and balance like that in mind. For as long as there's been MMOs, people have been forced to play jobs that they don't want to if they're going to be in a progression group. That's just like sort of like what. That's like sort of a side effect of what happens when you play an MMO at like the bleeding end game, right?
Some asshole has to be the healer.
If you can survive the big hits, you're going to take whatever tank's going to be more damage anyway. Paladin isn't going to do any more damage than another tank.
Right, and all the tanks are surviving.
It's not even going to do close to the damage as either the other tanks do in the off-tank role, and it doesn't really mitigate any more than the Dark Knight, because you can survive everything in every encounter right now with all of Dark Knight's cooldowns.
Yeah,
and
no,
that does more damage.
Right, yeah, and that's a good point. And to sort of finish the thought that I was sort of working towards is that I really sort of feel like FF14 is built with, like, once everyone has the gear for it in mind. Like I feel like when they design a raid, they don't design it for people that are sitting at like the mid 180s or 170s or wherever people were when Savage was introduced. Like, they're kind of designing it for like people who are starting to push their eye level higher and higher because
keeps it relevant
longer. Yeah, right, exactly. So like that's sort of the thing, is that like maybe they don't feel that Paladin is going to become irrelevant once all of the progression groups have kind of gotten their way through, and the I guess you could call them the rest of the community, or like the community at large, has started to challenge these fights.
You can call them what they are, and casuals.
But it's just that you can take any DPS.
Do Paladin for progression. That's the point.
Yeah,
I think
that is the problem. You can take any DPS,
earlier,
any healer.
You can't be a Paladin and go through progression right now.
Well, I don't know, for a long time people said that you can't be a fucking summoner and be in a progression group all through the majority of 2.0. I mean, there were people who did it, but
I don't think any of the world's first like T9s had summoners.
And that's the problem you're looking at, though. Like the level of progression we're talking about is
everyone kind of gets it
such
at
a
some point.
Small percentage of people that it's probably not something that's on their radar at all.
I just sort of feel like everyone gets it at some point. Everyone sort of like has a period where, the job is kind of, I mean, I feel like bards are kind of going through it right now too. I mean, the problem is not just relegated to Paladin, but I think it's sort of exacerbated with Paladin because it's a tank. So, anyway, Cass, thank you very much for your call, man. Very interesting stuff. And what do you think they need to do to fix Paladin?
I honestly think they have to give them more DPS options. I mean, it was nice for them to give us a dot, and it was nice for them to give us Royal Authority, but we have 10 less of a main stat on Paladin than the other two tanks. That's a part of it right there.
Yeah.
And you really can't switch into an off-tank like position really and do any better than the other two. So they have to give them more damage somewhere, or something like that.
I don't disagree with you, man. Thank you very much for giving us a call here on Limit Break Radio. Of course, if you want to give us a call, 810-515-8715 or Limit Break Radio on Skype. Cass, thank you so much for calling us here on Limit Break Radio. All right,
you make a good point though about everyone kind of gets their turn to be the job that nobody wants, because I mean, at one point,
except Monk, because they keep buffing Monk, so it never gets to that point. It seems like.
Yeah, be saltier, Nika. Be saltier.
Escalia.
What?
no one asked for your opinion, and when we want it, we'll move your big nose out of the way.
Wow, that was completely
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, shots fired.
Wow.
You're laying it on hard today.
Dude. That's...
I don't know. There's a lot of rage in me. Maybe it's because I'm a fucking Lalafell.
Why does he have anything to do with this?
Yeah.
Still butthurt.
What does he have to do with it?
Is he not the designated punching bag?
Oh, that's the only reason?
Do I need more?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I can't see him. Is he crying yet?
No, I'm not crying.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Didn't know if you, like, I don't know, like peed in your sandwich or what.
All right. You know what? I'll switch targets to Nika for a little while, okay?
No. Why don't you just target someone who deserves it?
Like who?
At this point, it sounds like you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make fun of myself.
You did this.
Stupid.
Then we should just mute your mic.
All right. So anyway, all right. So there were some minor PvP changes and some venture changes, and of course they added the TP bar. They didn't add the biggest small change that I really wanted them to add, which was adding XP into the level 50 dungeons.
I thought they were gonna add that.
They are in 3.1.
In 3.1, why
We were
not?
hoping it would be 3.0.
Why the fuck not in 3.07? That's so stupid.
They have to make sure the values are correct.
Oh fuck.
XP values.
I mean, they probably will. I assume they're going to make like the AK normal value, XP way different than the AK hard mode one. So they probably do have to balance it and figure out.
Needs balance.
The other thing that I'm glad they actually cleared up too in these notes was the reason they took the little bonus stats you get in a party and moved them to a different window, and the reason we don't have values on TP bars is apparently to do with like latency stuff.
They said to reduce server load, we're moving this, and you're not allowed to have values for TP.
I mean, whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't think we need values.
But it's just really weird that they even like listed to reduce server load, TP values have been removed.
Well,
and I'm
no,
like,
because
never even been there
you
in the
never
first place.
added them.
Well, but if they would have, because you see values for MP and HP, right?
Yeah. Right,
So
yeah.
if they would have added TP bars, people would be like, well, why can't we see the value? Not that you need it, because everyone has 100. So if it's at half, you have 500. Okay? Half
Why
is
is that
500.
their hill to die on, by the way? Why, like, of all the things, like, they just, like, staunchly refuse to put it in? Why is it that?
I want Kid that gives me 10 TP. So I can have 1,010 TP.
All right. So we also had the letter from the producer. I don't. The Roman numerals on this are so high. I actually don't.
What's
know.
L?
Roman or
Is L
producer
50?
Lixie.
L's 50, yeah.
So 61.
Oh, okay.
59?
Wow.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, 61.
61.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, this letter came out.
Sweet.
Yeah, very, very short. Yoshi thanks us and expresses the gratitude for the 2 years of success and congratulates Elysium on their world first and Lucrezia on the second A4S clears, which, I mean, that's pretty legit to get thanked by Yoshi P.
Oh, yeah.
Personally.
It means there were no cheats, no hacks involved. They did it.
Everyone masturbated well that night, I'm sure, in those two groups.
He also said that he watched Elysium's clear and listened to their scream too.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's legit.
Their nerdgasm.
That's
Yep.
legit.
Yep.
That's totally legit. And says that they plan on continuing the normal mode, savage mode format, and will be listening for player feedback.
And the forum exploded.
With feedback.
Yes, we'll call it feedback. Sure. So anyway, that's what has happened in terms of news for Final Fantasy XIV. Obviously, FF14 was out at PAX this past weekend. Not a lot of shit coming out of PAX. There was
was there anything?
Soken was there, wasn't he?
They had a panel in a booth. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they were there, but was it there just because Joe Never had he put up on his Facebook was a picture of him and Soken.
Right.
So was it they were just there to be there?
They had the Ravana challenge that was there, and then they also Koji and Soken did a panel out there.
Yeah, but I think they were just talking about lore and music. They weren't announcing
nothing substantial.
Yeah, they were talking about like writing lyrics to the songs and stuff like that.
They knew that Limit Break Radio needed a really good topic and didn't give a shit.
Nothing that we could work with.
Some bitch.
Epic trolls.
Just looking at Twitter this week, was anyone, like, besides us, was anyone not there? It seems like
Everyone went,
on Twitter
man.
was there.
I know, right?
Yeah, even someone from my static raid group is there. Like, oh.
You know, for a while I actually I was a little bit bummed. I feel like I'm not, I'm not at the party. Yeah, I'm not at the party, man. But you know what? It's okay because in we're going to talk about the Rising next. Because in this Rising event to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV, we basically got like a soft confirmation of a fan fest in the works, and if we were gonna expend resources to go anywhere. It's gonna be fun.
Definitely,
for sure.
Absolutely.
We don't need PAX Prime.
Yeah, no, we don't know.
We're gonna have our own con.
PAX
with hookers and blow.
No.
Blackjack.
Don't say that. Don't tell them that.
Oh, we're not gonna have all that stuff.
No.
We will. Meet us after the show.
Anyway, the Rising event, the 18th floor, Square Enix getting all meta on us with a peek inside of the
you can actually
in-game
see,
developers room.
I streamed it, so you can actually see my reaction.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to highlight it, but yeah, did not think that was coming. Like honestly,
really,
just with the name like the Rising, I don't know, I thought it was gonna be some type of event that kind of foreshadowed like future primals or something like that.
Well, that's kind of what they had sort of said that there was gonna be, but then like last year's event was just talking. I think it was just talking to the Wandering Bard in Limsa. And just looking at the fireworks exploding and just him having a soliloquy about,
Yeah, no, but like I was expecting some type of quest or fate that gave you a taste of the primals to come.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Like this kind of thing.
Well, yeah, because they said that it was going to be like a tease of, so.
Yeah, so gobsmacked. Like, I flipped out.
How long have you been waiting to say gobsmacked?
This is a classic move from Square Enix, though. I mean, like, they've done this in a lot of their games before, where, there's a secret room that you can go into and talk to a lot of the developers or whatever.
I think Final Fantasy IV was the one that they were referencing with this.
I can't remember where...
they were referencing Chrono Trigger, okay?
Chrono Trigger, yeah. Chrono Trigger is one of them.
Get your Square Enix lore right, okay, Nika?
But this is Final Fantasy. They were clearly referencing a Final Fantasy game.
And FF4 and Chrono Trigger came on the same package anyway.
Anyway, if you haven't done the Rising event, please go do it.
And if you don't want spoilers, stop now because you're gonna hear them.
Well, you've already heard some.
Kind of heard
spoilers. You talk to the dev team,
but yeah, it is. You get to go inside of the developers room, which they call the 18th floor, which is a reference to
the fact that they're on the 18th
floor in the Square Enix building.
Yeah, but literally, you go in and you are greeted by Yoshi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean,
he walks up all slowly and dramatically, and the camera like pans his body. You're like, oh,
There's
shit!
All kinds of like camera glints,
and you get to talk to like Koji and Soken,
all of them.
Yeah, the whole entire team,
everyone, and it's really cool. It's like this neat little meta thing, and way better than last year's Rising for sure.
Last year had a really cool cutscene at the end though, and they were all like, every single NPC you've ever known was there, like cheering you on, and it was a really cool like.
And they were giving you blowjobs, and they were spitting all over your face.
So now you have gonorrhea.
I much prefer the route that they went this time.
This was really, really classic.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And
cool.
even though, like you said, they've done it before, I still feel like it was out of left field. Like seriously, just. Would never have expected something like this because I've never had something like this in an MMO before.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't start out like just throwing you into the dev room, right? It like starts out in the world. You're like doing this quest that you think is bullshit, and they're like, "Oh, you have this thing. Take it to all these NPCs." And then when you go back and realize that all these NPCs actually also look like the dev team, and like the Lalafell who gives you the quest or whatever is like Yoshi's Black Mage Lalafell he uses in the live streams and everything like that.
Same name too, apparently.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, a lot of really little cool references in like in community references, I guess, inside jokes. Square Enix playing a bit of inside baseball, I guess. What were some of your guys' favorites? There were some teases. We'll get to the teases that may actually like make it into the game in a minute. But like, outside of those, what were some highlights for you guys? I really liked. Was it Gandai that was riding the horse backwards? I can't remember who was.
Yeah. No, it's Takai.
Takai, thank you.
It's the reference to his 14-hour the live stream challenge from last year. Like if you talk to him, he talks about how he's trying to get the Atma, which that was his challenge during last year's anniversary, was to get all 12 of the Atma.
Right.
And he was riding on those. If you remember watching the stream, he was sitting on those like bull riding chairs, or they were trying to like not get knocked off.
Yeah,
so when you look at him backwards on the horse that's bouncing up and down, that's what that's a reference to, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
I think my favorite was talking to Koji's character and like having him go through that rant of like, this whole existential thing, like what are we and why are we here? It could be this or it could be this and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and just that whole thing and the fat chocobo chick sitting next to him.
No, and he's wearing the Moogle hat, like at FanFest, how he had all the different Moogle hats for the song.
Oh yeah. As a reference to him doing Good King Moogle Mog. Yeah.
I really liked how like across like all of, like the walls and stuff they had like Final Fantasy 14 promotion pictures off everywhere.
Yes, those were really cool.
I went around and took screenshots of it because they were also so cool.
Also, there was like a whole bunch of like neat little like things that you didn't really notice. Like there's a whole bunch of birds in there that are like colored like the angry birds.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of them were used in different events. Like they had that Moogle bird that was used during one of the Valentine's events, I think. But if you looked around on the different desks, they were all decorated from like different in-game like seasons. Like they had Halloween on one, they had the Easter, they had the Valentine's, and like they were all spread out on the different desks and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we.
What about the boss line, the purple boss line as you're going into Yoship's room?
Yeah. I thought something was gonna happen. I was like,
confrontation. We get to fight with him.
I want to punch him in the face.
Also, I don't know if you realize the Rising vendor that sells the fireworks looks like 1.0's Minfilia.
Yeah, I think that was the case last year, too.
Yes, it was.
Oh, was it? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Nico wanted to punch Yoship in the face for Paladin buffs.
No.
I love getting to talk to Soken down his little sectioned off area that he has
by the piano.
That has all the instruments in it. Yep. Very clever.
That was awesome.
And he talks about how he wants everyone to wear the knee socks and short skirts and whatever.
Why does he want people to wear knee socks?
Apparently, he really likes knee socks, and that's why they call him Knee Soken now.
Have you ever seen knee socks and short skirts? Like that's a reasonable request.
He said it was the Arachne culottes of healing. He says he wants everyone to wear those. That's his dream.
I don't understand that, but if it's just general sexiness, encouraging, promoting general sexiness, I'm all for it.
But not if you're a femro.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, that goes without saying, but I just need to make sure Nika understands.
You don't know. Soken might be into femros.
But nobody else is.
But why would he encourage for everybody else? He encourages for him.
Nobody else is.
All right, so let's talk about the content that they potentially teased with the Rising, because Yoshi did say that there were going to be some teases in there, some teases towards the next Primal. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if that was just sort of like a cagey way for people to like get people hyped up for the Rising when it was coming out, or
Let me also ask you this though, because I'm sure that we are gonna some of the stuff that they mentioned we are probably gonna see, absolutely. But here's what I want to know your opinions on. Do you think that they might also have just thrown in some fake outs?
Oh, definitely. They have to.
I think everything's a reference to something.
It's tough to say. Look, given Yoship's propensity to tease stuff out, so long in advance, and given that so many of the teases that he did for 2.0, people were so ready for fake outs there, and none of them were fake outs. He didn't throw a single fake out in there.
Yeah, I feel like he knows.
If this is a fake out, it's a great great fake out.
Yeah, I'm not saying all of them because all right. Let's talk about the jobs first.
If he pulls a Kojima with this, that would be amazing.
He knows what people want enough that he wouldn't say these things if there wasn't at least planning stages.
Unless he wanted to troll. Unless he was
I don't think that this event was too perfect for. I feel like that there's no way this would be I mean, it was just too thought out.
You're not wrong, Nika. I'm just saying, if it were me, I would have taken the opportunity to fuck with people.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much we're all thankful it's not you.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So jobs teased, right?
All right. Yeah. Jobs teased.
The first two, as soon as you walk in, if you look immediately to your right, there are two NPCs, nameless there, that are arguing over the colors red and blue.
Right.
So red mage and blue mage.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. A lot of people read into that.
That was obvious. I mean, they're like, we have white and black. What comes next? Red or blue? And you're like, okay. Oh, now, wait, what?
Now, to me, red mage makes the most sense, just based on the way that mechanics and
it's a classic
and stuff works in 11.
Absolutely.
Or sorry, not 11, 14.
Yes.
Whereas blue mage, just off the top of my head, I don't see how that could fit as easily into the current hierarchy in the system of 14 as what a red mage could.
Though.
For Blue Mage, I think, of course, it would be an advanced job. I think that there would probably be quest lines attached to a lot of your major abilities, and that's how they would justify. You wouldn't have to do the whole Final Fantasy XI thing where like you go fight mobs.
It was such a
it was so
a funner way to do it. A funner way to do it.
It was so I will grant you that it was so unique in terms of a job and how you had to play the job to be able to get the most out of it. I totally agree. But I think that they could gloss over all of that nonsense.
I hope they don't, though.
No, but they can make it feel that way. Like you could have a quest line for like Blue Mage level 30 where you have to go and fight this monster and learn its move or whatever.
Yes.
But it would be part of the quest.
Yeah, but it wouldn't feel any different from any of the other quests.
Every single ability that Blue Mage will get, you have to fight a monster for it and do a quest for it.
That seems like a whole lot of content for it.
It's a lot of content.
So that's a quest.
The other cool thing, though, I think they should do...
Not really. I mean, you can give... You can give them a couple of native abilities, and then the ones that are stolen directly from the mob, those would...
You get your cross-class shit, and that's it. You cross-class Savage Blade, and you like it.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. I just...
that's not happening.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen.
They could easily make it so you get 2 moves from a quest or something like that,
Yeah.
But they're not going to give it like how in 11, like Blue Mage could learn like 100 abilities or whatever.
Obviously, you're not going to have that much, but I feel like for a Blue Mage to feel unique and special, it has to have more than just like your average set of moves that the other jobs have. The only way I could see them getting around that is if... I think it would be cool if the way that they did it in FF11, and it's sort of how they did abilities in FF9, where you do get more abilities, but you can only equip so many and then use those certain
That's how Blue Mage was in 11.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Is it?
11, yeah.
But here's the thing. Square Enix has shown that they don't want to do that.
I know.
They don't want to make new things.
They don't want new jobs to operate differently. They want the new jobs to fit into the old paradigm.
Yeah. Especially if they're still doing like you have your 1, 2, 3 combos that build off. I don't see Blue Mage being a DPS. I don't see Blue Mage not having that. So like if you had like 30 abilities and you could choose some of them, what if you didn't choose the one that fell into that combo? Then that would be all messed up. And I just don't think they would do that to Blue Mage.
I don't. Yeah,
the only way they could do the combos like that is if they had all your abilities that you got. Some of them are first tier, some of them are second tier, and some of them are third tier, and you would mix and match.
See, I guess my thing is if they put Blue Mage into 14, I don't see how it can live up to what it was.
It's not going to feel like what Blue Mage should be.
Yeah.
It's not going to. It's going to be called Blue Mage, and it's going to be a Final Fantasy 14 job.
Right.
It's not going to operate anything like... It's going to be like what they did with Bard, okay? Bard is... There is no...
There's not really a combo for Bard.
But it's
also...
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but like the depth... the amount of distance between what Bard was in 11 and what Bard is in 14 is huge.
Bard doesn't feel like Bard. Bard feels like Ranger, where you play a song.
Because we don't have support as a class in this game.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't work out that way, as we were saying before, with the way DPS checks work in this game. You can't have a support role.
It's just going to feel like another job, and it's going to be called Blue Mage, and that's it. And then you're going to get your quests for your abilities, and that's it. That's how they're going to justify it.
That's really lame.
I mean, I agree that it's lame, but like I don't know. I just don't. I don't know where your expectation is coming from on that one, because if they had broken the mold big time, other than, oh, your job started 30 now, with the 3 new jobs, I would say, yeah, maybe you had some grounds for that, but like they just shoved the new jobs.
No, you're right. There are no grounds for it, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I would prefer Red Mage because I think that fits into the paradigm better than what Blue Mage would.
I think we would get Red Mage before Blue Mage.
I think we would. I think we would.
It's the last job missing from Final Fantasy 1.
Yep. And then the third one, which no one cares about and we hope they never add, is Samurai.
Shut up. Don't
Samurai?
even try.
Oh, cheat.
Okay, you can't just make up jobs like this.
I mean, we already got Dark Knight.
Jeff,
What do you need
That
Samurai for?
Okay, because they said that they chose between Dark Knight and Samurai to be the new tank. And since they chose Dark Knight, I think that means Samurai will be a DPS.
No, I think Dark Knight won and they
okay,
chopped
the
it
thing
and
is
put it
that
on the-
Yoshi knows how much everybody wants Samurai, right? He knows that.
Whoa.
And if you go back into the Rising and talk to Yoshi a second time, he goes, what should we put? Samurai? Red Mage? But you'll keep
so
yourself,
there we
right?
go. So what's going to happen is it's going to come down to Samurai and Red Mage again, and they're like, well, we already have so many healers, right? So maybe we should give people what they want and actually make Red Mage a melee for once.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
And Samurai's going to get the axe again.
Yeah.
I could see some legitimacy behind that, making Red Mage a melee.
No, I just think Red Mage is going to be a DPS that's a fighter with like magical enhancements.
Yeah, I agree.
I was thinking Red Mage would have to be a melee this time around.
A light weapon, light sword or whatever. Hell, have them use paladin swords. It's not like paladins are using them.
There you
Red
go.
Mage usually uses the skinny like flurries and stuff.
It'd be cool to have a melee DPS that focuses on self buffing.
I could see Red Mage fitting in really well in both the healer and the DPS categories, because obviously, Red Mage was supposed to be kind of like the in between in terms of classic Final Fantasies, somewhere in between. Basically,
right.
Someone who can do some offense, but also can throw out a cure bomb every once in a while.
You be quiet, Stiltskin Moogle. No, they will not. You shut the hell up.
What?
Stiltskin Moogle says that Samurai will get a wyvern pet.
If you're just gonna, Ascalia, if you're just gonna have a fucking outburst like that without context, like you made everyone in the room go, what?
I don't care.
And everyone on the podcast.
You made everyone on the podcast go, what?
This is podcast 101, man.
Come on.
Stiltskin Moogle.
This is why you've been on
Fuck
3
you.
failed shows.
No, they won't. Oh, eat a dick.
Oh, he's triggering.
That was harsh.
All right, look. If they are going to add Samurai, that's the only way I'm okay with it. They get a combat pet. Whether or not it's a wyvern, I don't care.
No,
but they should have a combat pet. If not, just put it on the chopping block.
No.
I don't know where Samurai falls in the design area, because they got Dark Knight as the tank, and then Ninja is obviously more Middle Eastern than Samurai is. So, like, what
You don't
would
need
Samurai?
You
What
don't
would
even
Samurai
need it.
add?
DPS. That's not a tank.
We
I
don't
don't know.
have
We have Red
DPSs
Mage as
that
the
aren't
DPS.
tanks.
I mean, a big slashing one. We have Dragoon, but I mean, we need like a big slashing, like two-handed.
I don't know. Yoshi P said that Samurai was originally designed as a tank, like that they had originally slated it for tank. I think if we see Samurai, it's going to be a tank.
I think Nick is just being extremely selfish right now. That's all. That's what I think.
No. I think that since how much people want Samurai and they've been so hush-hush about it. For Yoshi to drop it in at this point, I think it's coming.
You're the only person I've ever heard ask for Samurai.
Are you kidding? No. That's why people, like, when they saw Soken's like little Samurai folder at FanFest, people freaked out about it, and no, everyone wants Samurai except for you.
To be fair, the way that I remember it is that you freaked out about it, and then you got other people around you to freak out about it.
No, other people. You look it up. Other people.
Revisionist history, Nika.
If I had to make, realistically, where these jobs would fall in, I would say Samurai would obviously be a tank, Blue Mage would be the DPS, and then Red Mage would, I feel, fall in as a healer, but as a more offensive, damage dealing healer.
Yeah, if that's the spread, if these are the 3 jobs, if they literally just tease the 3 jobs, which, oh my god, that'd be
for the next expansion.
If that's what that is, I'd be so bored by that. I'm gonna be honest, but anyway, if that's what it is, yeah, I see that dynamic playing perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly. All right, so we also got hints. They said that they would be teasing out some primals in the Rising. And we did get a tease of King Thoradin Extreme, so...
and Doom Train, sort of.
Yeah.
That was in reference to a non-combat pet, but I feel like that's really lame to just tease a non-combat pet. There would have to be more to it.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's its own primal or it's going to be in like the Hildebrand quest line, which makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
No, I know what this is. Doom Train is the end boss to Lord of Vermilion.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Verminion.
Whatever.
Some people were saying it might be a minion you get from the Void Arc, like how World of Darkness drops the Puff of Darkness.
See, I think that's what
this might drop Doom Train.
That's so lame to just be like, oh, and here's a pet coming. Like there has to be
the
more
guy
to
who
it.
teases it is standing around like 5 minions.
I know, and I think that if anything there is going to be the fake out, I think that that's the fake out.
Yeah.
That is around minions. That's the trick.
End boss of Verminion.
I think so. I think I honestly I think at some point we're gonna make the shift, and these primal fights are gonna start going by another name, whether it's the Warring Triad or Icons or whatever it ends up happening to be. I think we're gonna start moving away from like the primals as we know it, because we're out of like traditional Final Fantasy summons. Like I was like, when they said Doom Train, I was like, oh yeah, they didn't do Doom Train because it would be ridiculous and I don't know how they would do it. But I mean, like, I'm up for it. Like, if they decide to do it, it would be sweet. I'd be up for it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's going to be a switch off of what we consider, what we know as primals. Either that, or they're going to do what they did with Ravana and just start designing original ones. Which I think that would be okay too.
No, yeah, that's fine. 100%.
Yeah, sure. So there's a riddle that they included in here. Which is interesting, and I don't know, has anyone been able to make heads or tails of this? It's the what evil would bring 2 primals, a bomb, and a behemoth?
It sounds like the Bomb King and King Behemoth. Those are 2 like big evils we haven't seen.
We already
but
have King
it
Behemoth.
says singular. What evil would bring them together?
It seems like you'd be throwing all 3 of them.
Yeah, what evil would bring 2 primals together? So maybe it does involve Bomb King and King Behemoth, but I think there's another like figure, like an alpha figure that's bringing those 2 together. So that's the question it's asking. What would bring those 2 together?
Interesting.
So we already killed King Behemoth.
No, there's a Behemoth Fate, but it's not King Behemoth.
Okay, but at the
Crystal Tower, bro.
But hold on.
I guess he was called King Behemoth.
They've also now used Odin, who was just a normal Fate, and then put an actual like battle in there with them. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could introduce
King
something
Behemoth.
else. Oh, because there's only one King Behemoth.
Yeah.
Well, no,
to me, the King Behemoth wasn't. It's not so much a title as it is just like a name or a designation given to a more powerful
like
behemoth.
The past like Allegan stuff or whatever, and if we know what we know about primals, that they're the reincarnations of the previous of what they were, the icons or whatever, people can wish back the King Behemoth from the past, and it could
but here's
he wasn't a primal.
Hang on, yeah, but here's the thing though, is that like if Odin was one of the mid-tier bosses in Crystal Tower, we wouldn't have gotten an Odin fight. We wouldn't have gotten a confrontation against him, because it'd be like, oh, it's there in Crystal Tower. It's friggin' pointless. Who would want to do a one-on-one or like a small party confrontation with a behemoth? Like that's it's a boring model.
How easy is it to go back and change King Behemoth's name? I mean they've never done that before. Phlegion.
I
fucking Arcadius, whatever your fucking name was originally.
It was what was it? Archon. Archon. Something like that.
Yeah, so it would be so hard for them to go and be like, all right, this wasn't King Behemoth.
They're not going to do that.
But like, why would you want a confrontation against the King Behemoth? It just seems like a boring fight at this point.
Some people in the chat are saying Belius and FF12 looks like a behemoth and a bomb combined together. So
Belias. Well, no, but actually there is some precedence for Belias in the Summoner quest line. So maybe Belias is
true.
That's a pretty good theory. Who said that?
There was a couple people saying that. I don't know who the first person was that said it. Gatesender. I think it was Gatesender.
All right. Well, shout out to you. That's definitely a really good observation. Belias is a really good guess.
I'd also be fine with a behemoth that is made up of bombs.
What?
So bomb behemoth.
Just a
Or
bunch
a
of
bomb the
bombs
size
come
of a
together to
behemoth.
make a behemoth.
Yeah.
Just one giant bomb the size.
At every 5% HP, a bunch of them blow up and has a random chance to wipe your party.
I'm ready for
like
Bomb Hemoth. It's gonna be sweet.
I don't know. So yeah, we did get one NPC that talks about getting FanFest ready. The next FanFest ready. So that's, I think, a really exciting announcement. I really
was some of the pictures that were sort of spread all over the place. Was any of that like fan art, like official fan art stuff?
You know, I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell
Because
I
I
think
thought
they're
that would be
official
really
art, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
actually
agree.
have your art like assets in the game. I thought that would have been really sweet.
I agree, but I'm not. I'm not up on what their contests are or who wins, so I wouldn't have recognized any of them. I wouldn't know. Like the problem is I wouldn't know fan art from official art at this point, unless it was labeled as such, or it looks like fucking anime because fan art looks like anime all the time.
Wouldn't that be like copyright issues anyway?
I feel like there's probably some clause in when you enter the contest.
No, because you're drawing their characters.
That you give them permission to use your art.
Just because you're drawing their characters doesn't mean they can use it in their game, though.
I
but
do think when you submit, there's some
if you're making a
use now.
Yeah, if you're making a submission to their contest, then they can use it however the hell they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, so another FanFest in the planning stages. That's really exciting. I'm gonna say that it's probably gonna be in like September, October area next year.
All I know is
hopefully we'll start hearing about it soon.
Is that this time when you get so shit-faced you can't function properly,
we're gonna leave you at the side of the road.
It's gonna be me and Juxta in charge of you.
That's not gonna happen because we're gonna be planning something really big, especially because that's gonna fall around the 10-year anniversary of Limit Break Radio, and so
whatever it is, you can still get drunk afterwards.
Everybody's
gonna want to buy you a drink, man.
I'm sure they will.
I can't drink.
I learned my lesson last time.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
I will not let them be solely in charge of you. Don't
Nika,
worry.
shut up.
Nika, you're fired. You can't come. Guys only. No girls allowed.
There was also this really cool kind of Easter egg thing where if you ran the benchmark using the default character on a certain day, on the actual day of the 2-year anniversary, you got Hildebrand as your main as your character, which everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Okay,
Hildebrand.
But maybe that's the tease that they're going to bring Hildebrand back.
Well, we know they're going to bring Hildebrand.
Hildebrand's
back.
going
They
to
haven't confirmed yet.
I thought they forgot about him.
Yeah.
No, they definitely have not forgotten.
How could they forget about the best part of the game?
So I don't, but it still remains to be seen if Hildebrand's going to be making a return in 3.0. I mean, I'm sure. Well, they haven't said anything.
They haven't
directly
said
about
anything.
it.
I'm pretty sure that at some point before Heaven's Ward came out, that they did say Hildebrand will make a return in Heaven's Ward. They just never gave.
They said it in the game, Hildebrand will return in Heaven's Ward.
Yeah.
So you can count on him to be the Galbadia school teacher.
Well, no, we don't know. Yeah, he may be a bit character. I'm actually hoping. I'm hoping. Wow. I'm hoping that they open up the chance for other really funny characters to be introduced through whatever this magic school is, the Harry Potter fucking nonsense that we're going to be having to deal with. So, I mean, while I hope Hildebrand and Nashu are around, I'm not.
You don't want them to be a focal point?
We've already had two full Hildebrand stories.
And they were amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were both, don't get me wrong, they were both good, but like...
Okay, well, now, here's my question is, if they do another Hildebrand-like story, but not have Hildebrand, wouldn't that cheapen the character if they just had Hildebrand 2.0 or 3.0?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
So
why
would they do that?
You should definitely take characters that are already established and continue to build on them rather than taking the time to build up whole new characters. I think you already have a strong foundation with what you built with them through 2.0. Continue it. It's the same conversation we had about, are we going to get the Scions back, or are there going to be new Scions? Bring the Scions back. Continue to build on them.
Why would you want I would have said let the Scions stay dead and let's
If they were
let's bring on new characters because I'm kind of sick of them.
Dead, But that's only because they were utilized so poorly in 2.0.
No, I actually think that new characters are interesting, and if you give them a chance to
But they're doing a great job of having new characters and returning characters. I mean, like, look at what they ended up doing with Iceheart, and then they had Estinian. They took them and they went forward with them.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
look at all the other characters.
And killed both.
And then, like, all the characters in Ishgard that are new characters introduced are fantastic characters.
I just don't know that they need to be the central focus of it.
Well, the problem with the Scions is that they're already like established and they're really rigid and they're really boring. But versus Hildebrand, which is a great character and is like expansive and stuff, so obviously have new characters. But when you have a good character like Hildebrand, you can keep him. But the Scions, they can stay dead.
Well, touch his dick.
Hildebrand has really separated himself and become his own kind of entity in FF14, and there are people who want to know what happens next with Hildebrand.
We need more of Hildebrand's mother too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
She's so hot.
I'm not saying totally drop the storyline. I'm just introduce some other characters and have them be a focal point instead of it just being Hildebrand the entire time.
Who should be the antagonist of Hildebrand? Because we already have Gilgamesh, we already have Ultros. Who's left?
And what, like silly Final Fantasy villains?
Right. Is there anyone left?
Kate Sith.
No,
he's already a gobby cat.
Sith and everything except 7 has been very serious and mysterious too. So
sort of feel like Kate Sith might play a role in the Void Arc.
How about Zorn and Thorn?
No, we should have the Turks.
Oh, that's true.
The Turks.
The Turks.
The Turks will be from the school.
The Turks. That's the Slytherin house equivalent.
Yes. Led by Seifer. Oh my God! You could hire me, Square Enix.
I'm not. Joke characters are not really springing to mind.
Yeah, Zorn and Thorn was a good idea.
Zorn and Thorn.
Terrible.
Who else? I don't.
They
because
killed
the other
you
people are like
didn't
Biggs
they?
and Wedge, but we have a Biggs and Wedge. They're on.
Yeah, that would have been
already
my
have
other
Biggs and
one,
Wedge,
but we
yeah.
already have them. So.
I'm trying to think of anything from 4. That was like a comic relief.
Remember that? It's been so long.
Vanille's a good joke character.
Kefka.
Oh God.
He's already in the
Actually,
game.
is
that would be
reduced
really-
just to being Hildebrand's foil in this game.
That would be really hilarious, actually.
Seymour, he was pretty lame too.
All right,
He got
well,
to the point
these
where
are
you're just
serious villains. We need comical villains.
Really? Because by the end of 10, I'm like, really? You again, you fucking asshole.
They could bring Shantoto back.
Oh God, no.
All
The
right.
Star Onion Brigade.
Yes, the Star Onion Brigade.
Okay, anyway, we got a caller on the line, Marcus Rangar of Sargentanus.
What's up, Marcus? How's it going? Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Hey, it's good to be here. First time calling. Bit of a fan. A bunch of my friends are Icon words.
Bit of a
Words,
bit of a fan. Thanks for your dedication.
Words are easy.
Yeah, words aren't easy. But I wanted to talk about. I called back when you were guys having to talk about Paladin because one thing I noticed with Paladin compared to all the tanks have a 2 stance thing going. Like they have a different way of using it.
Right.
Warriors got their Deliverance, Defiance, and their stacks.
Right.
Dark Knights have Grit and Dark Side,
Yep.
which can stack. But then there's Paladins with Sword Oath and Shield Oath. And Sword Oath is fucking garbage.
Yeah, they are kind of binary. You're sort of forced into the choice either Shield Oath or Sword Oath, and Sword Oath you don't really
Like I
see
said,
much of a turn on.
Give
Yeah, it's
them
like
a
not
stance that makes them not quite as hardy, right? Like they take a little bit more damage, but they're bouncing damage back at it. That's how you fix
That feels like a Dark Knight mechanic almost.
No, because it's light. Light reflects.
Yeah.
Oh, it's light. Okay.
It's light based.
Light.
So instead of just have it be light colored rather than red,
It's
basically.
that if they're gonna make it that they're on global cooldown and you have to pretty much choose between them, Sword Oath needs to be better.
Well, Sword Oath
it's
needs to
literally
not
like
be
it
boring.
enhances your auto attacks only.
It doesn't even enhance your auto attacks.
It just gives you another half weak one.
It gives you it makes your auto attacks hit twice, and the second hit has 50 potency, which is trash. If Sword Oath is just like going to be a thing, and it should instead have a flat damage boost like Deliverance does.
Well, I actually did not know that that's how Sword Oath operated, and I agree. I think it should come with a flat damage increase.
Like 10%, because that's not much, but hey, it's better than an extra auto attack that does Jack Diddley.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
That's really all it does?
Yeah.
It is.
I tested it. I've looked.
And then then Shield Oath reduces your damage to up your defense and all that stuff, and then Sword Oath is garbage.
And that's on global cooldown.
And it's on
And
global.
it's on
God,
global
that's
cooldown.
atrocious.
Yeah, on
You
top
know-
of everything.
Stupid.
Well, technically,
you just wear it to not have the damage down from shield.
Yeah, see, technically you get a 20% damage up because you're not in shield oath.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
No, come on. This is coming from the guy who wants to misappropriate trick attack damage. What is you have no consistency in your dogma.
I'm just saying you get more damage when you're not in shield oath.
He just called you a dog.
Aniro, he is the most consistent person around. Whatever benefits him.
That sounds right. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
I think
there
that
you go.
I think that checks out.
Good job, number 6.
Anyway, so yeah, Marcus, did you have anything else to add before we move on? Because we got to move on to limit breaking music.
Yeah,
here.
it was just a little thing, and going with the whole paladin again. My friend, he was a career paladin basically from the moment he joined 14, all the way up to 3.0. And when he started getting the endgame stuff, because he took Paladin up first, he was all happy about the changes like Royal Authority and Goring Blade.
Right.
And then when he got into, because he started doing static stuff with my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
He he was very disillusioned with the fact that he had to level Dark Knight just to meet the DPS checks. Because even baseline Dark Knights just do more damage because of Dark Side counteracting like 13% of the damage down from Grit. It was about that's what it mathed out to, I think.
My solution is to give Royal Authority to ignore some of Shield Oath's defense down. Like, why not? Or, damage down.
Well, yeah, plus, and then there's my other friend, freaking just, his battle cry is basically now just, Fellcleave, because he's a warrior for life. He just screams Fellcleave and runs at things, spamming Infuriate, Berserk, and Internal Release.
Yeah, that sounds like a warrior. That sounds
fun, though. Can't lie, it's fun though.
Yeah, no, definitely. That damage spike is really nice. So, yeah, thank you very much for the call, Marcus. We appreciate it. Going back to the paladin subject here, I feel like we may have pissed off some career paladins tonight.
I think
it's a bad career
choice.
Yeah,
they're salty like me.
Is it? Yeah. Well, you got to kind of ask yourself: Is the anger justified if you're angry at us?
Are they angry at us or
no? They're angry at Square Enix. Yeah, for sure.
Just okay, so the people who play paladins need like a more basic rotation structure. So it's obvious that they're going to get more offended because they can't really process like what we're trying to say as easily as
Can I use my mute juxta power now?
There it is
for $10.
Boom!
You donate $10 in the pot.
I don't know. I feel like we should all get a free one too.
The hosts get a free one.
Yeah, the hosts get a free one.
All right.
He just literally insulted
hosts get a free one.
Yeah, no, done.
Yeah. So again, if we're playing a fun game today, and I guess from now on, no one is elected to actually play the game yet. No one has. I
think it's too steep, man.
Kevo put it right $10 in the pot right at the start.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I also didn't mention it.
Oh, you dick.
Yeah.
Oh, you dick. Well, you get an extra minute for that. I've not been timing. We might need to get a time. Actually, hang on. Let me pull up.
Let's just eyeball it, man.
Eyeball? That doesn't.
Play it by ear.
That doesn't seem
We'll know
fair.
when it feels right to turn it back on.
You know what? I don't agree much with Escalia Ryu Noza over here, but he's right.
I'm so glad this is going to be a
for
thing.
no reason.
It's you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I think your mic's off.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is going to be a new thing.
What? What'd you say? I can't hear you. All right. So, thank you very much again, Marcus, for your call, and for everyone who called up here today. If you want to, we're still going to take your calls. If you want to give Limit Break Radio a call, send a Skype message over to the Skype account Limit Break Radio, or 810-515-8715 if you're calling from a regular ass phone. We can take your call as well. What do you think of the Rising? What do you think of the job adjustments? What do you think about Paladin? We'll take any of those subjects. So call Limit Break Radio 810-515-8715 or Limit Break Radio on Skype. So let's move on to our next segment here. This has been a really popular segment since we started it. We've been getting so many emails every week that we haven't really been able to revisit it. And actually, there was a second reason that I hadn't revisited the subject.
We were waiting for Heaven's Ward renditions.
Yeah, and
nobody's really doing them besides Dragon Song. There's a few dragon songs.
There's not even that many dragon songs.
Even the dragon song, yeah, there's a couple. I feel like there's like 3 vocal covers
that we've
2 piano
already
covers.
done on the show.
Yeah, well, we did. Yeah, that's true. There's only like one guitar cover. There's like a couple of vocal and piano covers, and then there's a couple of more piano covers without vocals.
You know, yeah, I've been like waiting for someone to do that like different twist on dragon song because I mean it's been out long enough, and there just isn't that yet.
Absolutely.
Somebody twist dragon song.
Mexican Fiesta dragon song.
I definitely agree. I feel like there's a ton of great music in Heavensward to work with too. So all right, Juxta, your 2 minutes is up. All right. So yeah, I'm just saying that so you don't scream into your microphone.
I would like to use my one host silence for another minute.
Why?
Wow, we're about to do music. He's gonna be silent.
Yeah, he's being fine.
Why not?
At least make it justified.
You suck.
God.
I just wanted to keep it going.
No.
Come on, Waterfall Band Juxta.
Well, I'll take donations for that. We can do a Waterfall Band Juxta.
You suck at everything.
For like a while, but that doesn't count. It doesn't count for you. It's not appropriate. Anyway, all right. So
because on Limit Break Radio, we're concerned with what's appropriate.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
Yeah, you watch your mouth.
Language.
Propriety is very important.
Whoa, with the language.
We take this shit very seriously. Didn't you know that? This show is serious biz. Serious biz.
This show is my bae.
That's right.
Oh my God.
We're just totally it's devolving here at this point. All right. Limit breaking music. We like to showcase some of the great cover or remix talents that exist inside the FF14 community. But again, I kind of want to take these folks to task. These incredibly creative, wonderful people that we're going to play their music here in a second. But there's so much good music from Ravana, Alexander, Bismarck, any of the Zone music. I think all of that stuff is so rife for the taking in terms of sampling or remixing or doing rock covers of. I'm really surprised that there's not more Heavensward stuff out there. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna start things off here on Limit Breaking Music with a track from a guy that we know real well here on Limit Break Radio. In fact, We've had a very friendly relationship with this guy for a very long time. His name's DJ Play School. Did a lot of remixes for Final Fantasy XI back in the day.
Yeah, he did.
I remember him.
And a lot of really fantastic remixes. He did some remixes when Aetheryte Radio was first starting up. He did them specifically for Aetheryte Radio.
Oh, nice.
And just a really all-around great guy. If I'm remembering correctly, there was a power supply that we blew. One of our computers blew at one point, and he stepped up with a power supply. He just up sent a power supply.
DJ, you awesome.
DJ Play School is a super legit dude, and all of his remixes are really varied too. Like I think that's what I most appreciate.
Very diverse artist.
Yeah, and he's got stuff that goes into break beats and jungle beats and stuff like that, but he usually sticks to like the sort of techno-y kind of feel. And so this is his remix called Currents, and in parentheses, Setting Me Free. Takes a second to.
This is the remix of the Bismarck final phase, right?
No, this is not the Bismarck phase. I actually, you know what, guys, help me out. Help me to figure out which zone this is that he uses as the sample. Because I feel like I know it, but I can't.
Is it the Turning Mist?
It could be. I mean, it gets into it here in a sec. Here.
Is that Idleshire that I hear a little bit of?
Is that Idleshire? I mean, I know it's got the bagpipes, but I mean,
because of the picture that he has and the fact that it's called Current. I could have swore that so in Bismarck, you know how it has that really abrupt change where it just gets really tranquil and serene?
Yeah.
That's what I thought that it was.
No.
Is it Annex Trine?
It might be Annex Trine.
Yes, it's Annex Trine.
Are you sure?
I'm
so.
starting to
Or
hear
Zenith?
that now.
I'm sure the chat will tell us.
Yeah, it's the Four Lands. Someone's saying the Four Lands. It must be the Annex Shrine.
Yeah, I that sounds right to me, because I know it's zone music. I know it's not Bismarck. I know for a fact it's not Bismarck. But I love this. This is such a cool fucking remix. Just a great use of the drums here, and I mean, like it's such a chaotic beat that I kind of wonder how he heard this out of the original. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that I love about remix music is like we're exposed to this music all the time, and these guys were able to hear something out of it that I was never able to pick out, and that's amazing to me. Sort of like how it takes a breather here too.
For me in these remixes, that's always the biggest thing is that it's not just the same thing from start to finish. You know, I have to feel like the song's telling me a story and there's major changes, you know, between it that feels like it's actually taking you somewhere.
This is good, like good boss fight music. I feel like if I was underwhelmed with a boss fight, I would put this on instead.
Yeah, help relax you a little bit.
I actually sort of feel like it's kind of got a driving beat. Sort of the thing that I liked from Bismarck's music was that it wasn't like necessarily aggressive, but it definitely had an energy to it that was motivational. I found.
Yeah, but it didn't put you on edge like some music does.
Yeah, I guess.
Keeps you in control.
I also love that little vocal sample that he put in there. I mean, it's just such a nice touch. I don't know. I always appreciate stuff like that. Anyway, again, that's the remix Currents, Setting Me Free from DJ Play School. You can find out more about him at his website, DJ Play School. That's PLAESKOOL.com. And of course, also follow him on SoundCloud, where you can find this and some other great FF14 remixes that he just dropped. And I mean, just dropped. Like we're talking like less than a day ago. These came out, and there's some great stuff in there, and he's working with new Heaven's Word music. He's calling this series the Heidelin Ministry of Tourism, which I think is really great. But he actually does some remixes, including Tree Speak, Stomp from it's a piece of Gridania background music, and Far Flung Shore, Salt Swept from Lenosia. And I do know that he's got some other Heaven's Word stuff in the pipe, so make sure that you go follow him. That's at soundcloud.com/DJ Play School, and check out his brand new website that he's in the process of redesigning at djplayschool.com. All right, so our next artist, we've actually featured this guy on the show before. His part of his song got sort of cut off because we had a little Garlean problem when we were playing his On Windy Meadows version. So I sort of feel like we should do a
little something.
Yeah, definitely.
Did we lock the door before we start playing this song?
Oh, come on, he had nothing to do with it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not going to happen again.
No, I don't think so.
He's not the leak, is he?
I don't.
We
I don't
play
think
his
so.
song,
He's not a
Garlean show up.
sympathizer.
Well, we'll find out. I mean, we'll find out.
Because I'm pretty sure, actually, the theme that Garleans used was also his.
Might have been. I don't know.
It's just real suspicious to me.
I'm not paying that close attention.
I think that Escalia has sniffed out an important little clue here.
He's really good at
You're
sniffing,
such an
isn't he?
asshole.
That was a nose pun.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure you know that. Knows that. That was a bad one. Sorry.
You can do better.
That was juxta level.
You can do better. Benjamin Anthony James, who has been doing a lot of remixes in the FF14. I think he's up to 6 now. He's got 6 rock versions. Absolutely check his stuff out. That's at soundcloud.com/Ben773. And I actually had a really tough time trying to decide which of his songs I wanted to play on
Really?
air.
Because I've tried to get this one on a few times with limit breaking music, and you're like, we need some new blood. We need some new blood.
Well, yeah. I did say that. I did say that last time because we featured him. Yeah.
This is a good one though.
Yes, this is a really good one. He does have a brand new piece of music that just came out. I think he just released that one within. It was 2 months ago that he put out his last FF14 cover. But again, soundcloud.com/Ben773 or on his YouTube page. That's at youtube.com/DeadStar666777. But I guess SoundCloud's a little bit easier to find. Anyway, here's Benjamin Anthony James with his cover of the Ultima Weapon theme. Turn that up a little bit. There we go. I love the way that this starts out.
It's got a Bayonetta-ish sound to it.
I mean, he's already working with a pretty epic track to begin with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's the thing about this guy is he does his covers over the originals, but he does it in such a way that it's just fucking awesome. Oh man, that build and then that drop right there. Oh, that's so good.
Get back in your pants, man.
Dude, that lead right there. That lead is so epic.
Got some people in the chat. Jinx McNinja in all caps. Love this song. Artorias Sonic Strife. This is brutal. Yeah, the chat's really digging this one.
Again, he's because the vocals are from the original Ultima track, and it's just about what he's adding to it. He's not adding actually all that much, but what he's adding makes such a noticeable difference.
And it complements it so well, you wouldn't have known that this was altered in any way.
So does. It's so good.
That guitar.
Keeping the original vocals was such a good idea for this track.
Oh, absolutely. And just the way that it kind of like backs off here. I think this is all original. I don't know that he added anything right here. I think this is all from the original.
That weird sort of drumming too that's there normally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the rock
so
drums
exotic for the song though.
But those rock drums, those are him. He added those. Those were not there in the original, and I have to commend him for it because he added them very well and very tastefully. Yeah, there it is. You know, one of the things that I always loved about the music that we end the show on is that it's not just the Fate music, but it also has this little melody from the Ultima theme because it's one of the best parts of the whole song.
Agreed.
Check this out. This is great.
Oh, Crystal theme.
Yeah! That's what's up! Oh my god, every time I hear this, goosebumps. I've listened to this probably 100 times and I still get fucking goosebumps when I listen to this shit, man.
Oddity says this is insanely phenomenal.
It's so good. And it just builds and it keeps building and it's amazing.
Jinx McNinja's goosebumps have goosebumps. I love the way it slows down like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about a song feeling like it takes you someplace.
Yes, absolutely. There is movement. There is,
it keeps the song from stagnating and
Yes.
from you to just kind of stop and wander a little bit. Like it keeps bringing you back in.
Absolutely.
This might be my favorite song that we've featured on Limit Breaking Music.
And we featured some great shit.
Absolutely.
I think that Ben Anthony James is probably one of my favorite artists that we put on the show.
Yeah, Benjamin Anthony James. This guy only has 72 people following him on SoundCloud.
That's criminal.
Let's fix that. Fix that right now.
I was going to say, no, because you mentioned that there's a lot of people that we haven't heard a lot of 3.0 stuff, and,
right.
And I can
and
tell
this is
you,
one of them. This is one of throw all of the encouragement at this guy.
Right, because as an artist, be it what we do here at the podcast, whether it's my writings or drawings that I do, everything that I do as an artist, what makes me want to do more of it is when I know there are people enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So absolutely. I mean, if I guarantee you, if all 234 of you went and followed him on YouTube, and that guy woke up to what would that be like 5 times what he has right now?
Yeah.
Then I guarantee you he'd be like, what the shit is happening? And he would make more stuff.
LB Army?
I would love to know what he would do with the Alexander music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Kooky,
absolutely.
Kooky, put his YouTube link in there, and everyone just right now, and everyone go and follow him, subscribe to his channel, and tell him you want more.
Yeah, absolutely. Benjamin Anthony James, man,
blow his email notifications up.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Fucking amazing stuff. Seriously, and big fan. All of us here at Limit Break Radio are big fans. Also wanted to mention that he is a part of a band called I Am Pariah. So if you like his shredding skills, make sure you go check out I Am Pariah. He's got 6 Final Fantasy 14 rock covers. He's got Wanderer's Palace in there, the Empire theme, Sultana Dreaming, that's got a great video accompaniment, and On Windy Meadows. And then there's also the Ultima Rock theme, and then the one that he just put out a couple of months ago. Seriously, go follow him. SoundCloud.com/Ben773 or YouTube.com/Deadstar666. 777, or click any of the links that Kooky has been providing in our chat room. All right, and again, great job, Ben. If this ever makes its way back to you. All right, our next track here comes from a dude on YouTube who goes by the handle Merciless XO. Actually, it's OX Merciless XO, and there's some threes.
All the E's are threes.
All the E's are threes. It's a little bit kind of hard to explain without seeing it, but we're going to have a link to this dude's channel at our website, limitbreakradio.com, when this show comes out. But you can go check out his stuff right now, youtube.com/OXM3RC F3RL3SSXO.
Get an easier name.
Wow.
Sure, your music's great, but you need a better name.
I like all E's or threes. It actually sounds kind of a cool
well,
band
when
name.
it's kind of hard. It's hard to find a band name nowadays. Everything's taken. I get it. I get it. I understand. I don't hold it against you.
I got
anyway,
dibs on all E's or threes.
Anyway, this remix comes to us from Merciless. I'm just going to call him Merciless, and he's done some other great. Well, I guess I shouldn't genderize that. I guess they've done some great other FF14 remixes, including Ulda and Gridania, and they were active for they were inactive for almost 2 years. Their YouTube account had been inactive for about 2 years, and then about a month or 2 months ago, they started posting FF14 videos again, and this was one of them, and it ended up being a remix of the Bismarck theme. So from Merciless, here is a Bismarck remix.
This does start at that like middle sort of phase too, doesn't it?
I think so. It
sounds way too tranquil to not.
It's hard for me to remember the Bismarck music.
I don't know. This might be what plays as the cutscene starts playing.
Well, no, it says right on it, final phase.
Oh.
I don't... Does it go like that tranquil after he does his ultimate move?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. As you're transitioning.
Oh, right. Like when the weather clears up for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah. It is kind of a bit of a revert. You kind of don't see that coming because the music when you first get in there, it's like kind of driving. It's got like a techno-y beat.
Very is. Yeah. Because I remember when me and you first did it, when it got to that point where it goes into this, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
The chat's asking if we can turn it up.
I dig this. It's just kind of a departure from
what we just listened to.
From a lot of the other remixes and stuff. It's a
very trancey kind of.
Yeah.
This is something you just relax to.
It is. It's very vibey, very very vibey. I feel like I could definitely like just zone out and listen to this and be perfectly happy.
This kind of sounds like if you went to a party, this is what someone would have on in the background, as opposed to the last track where everyone would be like, "What is going on in here?" Like, that's fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if there isn't, there should be.
Exactly. Like, let's start a fight.
I hope you guys have your subwoofers turned up because like this has an entirely great, a really good low end that if you're listening to it in headphones, I don't think you can really get a full sense of.
Can't appreciate it as much.
And then I like the change up here, man, in the last third.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like Bismarck without someone screaming at me or that I'm not poking the bubbles, even though I'm not supposed to be. Juxta, will you scream at a Nero that he forgot to hit the Dragon Killer?
It's the healer's job.
That's now it sounds like Bismarck. That's what was missing. You're right. It's the healer's job. That's what was missing.
So again, make sure that you check out their YouTube page, youtube.com/OXMercilessXO with the three E's being threes. I guess that's the easiest
all
way to
E's
describe
are threes.
Or just click any of the links that Kookie has been providing in our chat room. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, head on over to our website, limitbreakradio.com. We'll have a link in our show notes portion for this episode. Now, this one is really cool. I've been excited to play this ever since I found it. Nika actually helped me do a little bit of homework on this, tried to find out anything that we could. But this next track comes from a group called Hometown Domina. And they took part in a project called Life in Eorzea. And it's actually been really difficult to find info on this project or even a download link on this project because it came from somewhere called the Zephyr Circle, and any link that existed to it comes up with a blank Wikipedia page. And I certainly have not been able to find any usable information about this. If you do, listeners, have any information, or if you have these tracks somewhere squirreled away, please share them with me, because I'd love to hear all of them in their entirety. There is a small demo, like 1 minute demo tracks that exist on a SoundCloud, but you don't really get the full feel. And when you hear this track, I think that you'll agree that what they had made here was pretty damn good. It was pretty tight and pretty impressive. But fortunately, the user Escha on YouTube, ESCHA, has been saving some of these tracks from obscurity by uploading them to YouTube. And we're going to play one of those right now. This is the Ramu Battle Remix. Now, Hometown Domina actually is going up against some pretty stiff competition, because Husky by the Geek did a fantastic job with his version of the Ramu battle music, and it's going to be tough to top that, but I think they do pretty well.
As good as all these are, nothing beats that Husky remix that combines all the Primal music.
Yeah, I know. It really that was impressive. I like how this one just sort of takes a little bit more time and doesn't up the tempo on the track. In fact, they may have slowed the tempo down just a tad.
Yeah.
And just gives it a different tone altogether.
When you think battle music, it's not the first thing that pops to your head. And actually, it's something. This is a really good example of when you and again, DJ Playskool does it too. Of artists that have a whole different level of thinking when it comes to music, because whenever someone suggests a song they want to hear, a prime example from the chat was someone was like, oh, someone should do Nirvana, and someone's like, I don't know if anybody could get as low for that. But the really good, the really, really, really good artists out there are able to re-envision these songs in a way you never fucking thought possible.
Yes.
Redo it without the low voice, and you're still like, holy shit.
Totally agree, man. Restriction breeds creativity, and the people who are the most creative and really just the most talented will be able to find a way around a restriction like that. I totally agree, man.
It is amazing how far this comes from where you'd be listening to Ramu's music while fighting Ramu, and you're so amped up because the battle's tough and everything, and then you hear this and you would never even imagine that your heart would be beating a mile a minute with this playing.
It's got kind of this jazz fusion vibe to it too that I really like, especially in that lead guitar, just the way that he's holding the notes.
Yeah, I really like how chill this is.
And I'm a big fan of the original too. I do like the original. I mean, for as much as I like Husky's versions and everything, I am a big fan of the original Ramu theme, and I really do. I think that this does it justice. Somebody had mentioned in the chat that the SoundCloud version uses vocals for this Ramu version, and that's exactly why we didn't choose it. The vocals are not. I don't know. I think that this is better as an instrumental overall. I mean, not the original, but this specific version. I think it's better for not having the vocals. And there it goes. It kicks into a second gear here.
Kind of wish I would have done that a little sooner.
I sort of agree. To save it for the last 30 of your song, I definitely agree.
See, this doesn't take me on much of a journey as like what some of the other ones do. Now, had he done that a little earlier on and played with those two sort of tempos a little bit more,
I agree. No, I see exactly what you're saying.
It'd have been nice in the middle third and then cut back to the slow pace as it finishes.
Yes, yeah. I think structurally that probably would have been a more interesting way. But I like how this builds because it's got a great build to it.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good finish on it, though.
Oh yeah, it finishes strong. From Hometown Domina, that was the Ramu, thank you. The Ramu remix.
From the long-lost project Life in Eorzea.
Yeah. Again, if you have any information out there, if you can hear me right now and you have any information about this project, please email us, hosts@limitbreakradio.com. We'd love to find the full tracks if anyone's got them. I'd just love to hear them. I'm just a big fan. I'm a big fan of remix music and video game remix music in particular, and I would just love to hear the full versions instead of just the 1-minute blips that we got on SoundCloud. This last one also comes from that project, and this is different. I mean, I feel like
different good.
Well, the first track definitely sort of set the stage, and you sort of feel like you're like, oh, okay, I know what the rest of this is going to be like, and then you kind of come to this track, and you're like, what the fuck?
Is this a good what the fuck?
Well,
you tell us.
Yeah,
this one was interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure I listened to everything we had on the outline, but I feel like I'm blind going into this all of a sudden.
This is it's definitely different, and this one actually has a video to go along with it, and so I'm just gonna get this video up here on screen really quick. But again, this is from the same project, the Life in Eorzea project. There we go. Let's get that all cropped up. There we go. Nice and tight here. And this is a cover of the Leviathan theme. Carlo, you should like this. It's got lots of potatoes in it. So, all right, we got kind of a nice techno thing going on here.
I like the video, though.
It's pretty cool.
Get ready.
I can definitely see why they put a bunch of potato people in it. It has that feel. It's a way happier take on it.
Oh yeah, well,
it's still not. Just wait.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
You're going on the journey.
Quite.
Right?
Oh Jesus!
This is what happens when you make Leviathan kawaii.
It's so fucking kawaii.
It's like Lollapalooza schoolgirls.
Nero, it's kawaii, like Hawaii.
Oh, fuck off.
I've been told that kawaii means something completely different and inappropriate. What? Nika, don't just groan.
Kawaii means scary. Kawaii is cute.
Fine, whatever. It's still,
okay. Well, you know what? This probably is scary.
Yes,
to
it's
Nero.
terrifying. I knew what I was saying, and I meant it. Meant to fuck that up.
Nero's dark.
I was right.
Being infringed upon.
And they also changed the lyrics to German, which I found interesting. Like, they have the up on the screen German version lyrics, but they are in English normally.
I like how that potato has a tail.
And then there's Japanese lyrics there. So they have German and Japanese lyrics here.
This shit is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, they did a good job with what they've done.
But what have they done?
Yeah, this is true.
I feel like this is what would happen if you gave Lalafell's instruments and microphones. Like, this is the result that would happen.
chipmunks.
This is Winder's
It's
300 years
though.
later.
It's like very Animu.
Oh, it's super Animu. Weeaboos would probably love this shit.
If you have any weeaboo friends out there and you want to convince them to play FF14, send them this.
Yeah,
But then they come into this song expecting that, and they get
Yeah, they
That
get
might be
good. They
worth
get
it just
good
for that
music.
experience.
They get good music.
Anzix201 says this is the best remix. Twisted Lingo 7, we need a Lalafell idol band.
Oh, no, no,
Yes, we do.
no.
Well,
Only if
Lola Landis can be the lead singer.
only if we have a
Lala Landis would tear that shit up.
only if we have a femro bass chorus in there.
Sure.
We get a chorus of femros to do the Ravana theme. How about that?
Carletta also just revised the hashtag Team Potato. It is now hashtag Team Taters.
I like it.
I just don't understand the relevance of having Japanese and then German.
Germany, question it.
Yeah, why?
Maybe the
why
makers
ask?
are German.
Look, the Germans and the Japanese were allies in World War II. It makes sense.
It does?
I understand
Sure.
Japanese. 'cause
Where's
I'm
the
sure-
Italian segment?
Sure. Well, Japan had a museum for Hitler for a while. That's a true thing. That was the thing.
Not sure it's relevant, but yes, it's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it would explain why there's German and Japanese. Huh? You guys were asking the question. I was just trying to provide a fucking answer.
Well, provide a better one.
No, fuck you.
I think you're just trying to show off your Hitler information.
Hey guys, want to know 30 obscure facts about Hitler?
Because now Escalia knows it.
Jesus.
You not sniff that one a mile away?
Eat a dick. I already used the sniff pun.
You already used the nose pun.
But I used it improperly. This was to fix it.
The longest song we featured too.
Yeah, it is pretty damn long. So yeah, that is also there's really not a whole lot of information about who necessarily did that. I've seen this
With good reason.
I've seen this attributed to a couple of different. I saw it attributed to Project Domina. I saw it attributed to something else entirely. I've no idea where this originated from. No information about it. We will have a link to this video that we just shared on the stream at our website, limitbreakradio.com, in the show notes portion of this episode. All right. So
But let's see. I want to hear Ravana theme done by the Lalafell voices.
oh my God, that no. That just
Someone do it, please.
No, don't. That's
Please.
that's a
Please.
terrible idea. All right, we are running a little bit long here. We're almost at the 2.5 hour mark, but we've got some emails. Not as many as we usually get. So sort of feel like we should clear out these emails and then probably end up wrapping up here. So, I real quick, though, I do want to thank all 220 of you for sticking around for Limit Breaking Music. That was a fun segment,
Always is.
It always is. So, thank you for your input in the chat and for your calls today. It's been fun. Let's read some emails. Kahlo, how about you start off with this one?
All right, I'm going to use the second one, though, because this one is relevant to me, okay? And really, it's relevant to everyone, the topic in here. So, greetings, Limit Break Radio. Tejet Siri of Adamantoise here. I have been a fan of LBR since the 11 days, and I was very excited when I discovered you guys are now a FF14 podcast. I've never called or emailed until now because I feel I must speak up for the grave injustice I have witnessed throughout the past month of listening to the 14 podcast archives.
This ought to be good.
I feel this is almost as urgent was the listener who had stopped on the interstate to write in after listening to the Salted Earth episode. Thankfully, a state trooper won't be necessary this time.
Is someone getting mad at me?
No, with me.
Oh, that's fine.
Kala, with all due respect, it is time to get good. I could not believe my ears.
Okay, and now I've turned the corner. I'm behind this.
When I heard
already behind it.
Guys, he's talking, okay? I could not believe my ears when I heard your Lancer was not level 34. So I took to the lodestone to see if this claim was true, and it is. Based on the information from the lodestone, you are only one level away.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's been there for a while, too.
A leveling roulette is all that separates you from blood or blood.
Little bit of old bit theater here.
He doesn't even know how to say the goddamn ability right. He called it blood or blood.
Blood or
no,
blood.
I said blood for blood.
No, you said blood or blood. You definitely just said blood or blood.
I'm reading it. Why would I say or?
You did.
Because you're bad.
I mean, it came across that way, but I definitely said 4.
You suck.
With that said, I have a proposal for you, Kahlo. If you can reach level 34 on Lancer by the time episode 28's podcast releases on Tuesday, I will become a Patreon donor to LBR.
Ooh.
The way I see it, everybody wins here. You get good, the citizens of Sergeant Anus and the Aether Data Center, which I'm a part of as a citizen of Adamantoise, has one more ninja with a full set of cross-class skills, and I get to support a great podcast that has kept me entertained for years. Aniro, Juxta, Escali, and Nika, I hope you all encourage Kahlo to accept my proposal. Sincerely, Tajet Syria of Adamantoise. And yes, before anyone goes on about saying or doing anything, yes, I will accept.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
The gauntlet has already been accepted.
Better.
Yeah, this
is really sad and depressing that it's taken
this.
Yeah.
That it's come to this.
No, someone has to pay you.
Really, because I've been doing it out of spite for you guys.
Do you realize
but
that
now a fan is offering to pay me to do it? So yeah, no, that's
we're about to have to deal with him getting to say, "See, I didn't get blood for blood because I wanted to get a Patreon donor out of it."
No, it's not even that. Now you have to deal with me getting blood for blood, but not using it out of spite.
Oh, don't be that guy.
Yeah. Why would you willingly do that?
Because of reactions like this.
Why would you? Who cares what my reaction is?
I do.
Okay, that's nice. But
this is entertaining.
But how often do we play together? You're not really affecting me.
Not that often, since nobody seems to show up for Juxta and Kahlo night.
I wonder why.
Well, you have a legitimate excuse recently. Yeah, okay.
That's true.
Even the big nose guy over here has to work. All right. But somebody. Oh.
Hey, you guys start so late now. My raid time starts early. I can't join you.
And you know what? Last Tuesday too, we actually gave you the chance to be like, all right, do you want to? You know, because
we could start streaming.
You're always like, hey, I want to stream my raids. When can I stream my raids? So I'm like, Nika, when you're starting, we'll give you the stream. Never even saw it.
I don't have my stuff all set up to actually take the stream right now. I don't have enough light and stuff, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
You better
get on it.
You better do this on the stream. Getting blood for blood. You better stream it.
Oh, I was just gonna go home tonight and just do it really quick.
Hey, we're getting a Patreon donor out of it. Come on.
Dragoons are so boring.
You should have to stream it for the proof, man.
Dude, they are boring.
Yeah,
they're so boring. Escali, don't you agree? Aren't they boring?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so back up to the first one. Who wants to take this one from Radamas Zero?
I'll take it.
All right.
This is Radamas Zero from Marlboro. This is my first time emailing you. I know my spelling is bad, but bear with me.
Great. He readily admits that his spelling is bad, and we're going to
toss it over to him, Nero.
And we're just going to.
I took it because of that.
God.
Let me start by saying you guys are one of the best podcasts out there. I found you through Gamerscape when Anira was on episode 69. I thought I'd give you guys a try, and let me say you've been the most entertaining group I have listened to in a long time.
I'm going to just be honest. I don't remember being on that episode of Aetherite Radio. I don't remember that at all. But okay, sure.
Do you remember being on
it may have been.
Aetherite?
It may have been. Well, yeah, I do remember doing that. It may have been their anniversary show because I remember doing that. But yeah, I didn't know it was episode number 69. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Numbers. The opinions you all have are wonderful and help me wonderful. I don't know about that. And help me through my days at work and get me excited to come home and hop on Final Fantasy XIV and try to reach endgame. Now on to why I'm typing this email. If you haven't done it yet, you need to go to Ul'dah and do the quest A World Away. Like right now!
Yeah, that is all in caps. Wow.
Yep, see? It was one of the best memories I had while being able to hang out with the creators of 14 for a little bit. Now go do that quest if you would like to hear what you all have thought of it. See you in Eorzea, Radamos Zero of Marlboro.
Just rewind this episode and go listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much what we thought of it.
You spelled your server name wrong. Come on, man.
Malbora.
I don't like we deal with Kalos typing in the host chat, which is horrendous.
Pretty hilarious.
Really, really bad.
But this is bad.
His space bar is actually a period.
It is. Where my thumb used to hit the space bar on my old phone, it is. It's a fucking period now.
Yeah, I had that same problem when I switched my phones, but I was able to somehow deal with it within like a day or two. It was like persistent with you for like 2 weeks. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much for that email, Rodimus0. And yeah.
This is from Deep Throat.
From Deep...
in quotation
kind of
marks, which worries me.
It's a bit of a suggestive name.
A bit.
Deep Throat.
So apparently this is going to be Watergate. Hello, this is obviously not a real email, nor would mention my name for... What the hell? This is obviously not a real email, nor would mention my name for reasons I will post below.
I think he means an email address or an email name.
Right, yeah. This is a rough email for me to type, but I think it is important for others to know. In the last episode, you mentioned how SE can parse random data including what is said in chat. For those who might not believe this is possible, I will let you know something that has happened to me. There was a time where I was in a deep, dark depression because of numerous issues kept popping up. I had friends that I would sometimes talk about it online in FF14 and outside via forums. One night, when I did decide to talk to a close friend in FF14, I mentioned along the lines of taking my own life. As soon as I mentioned that, I decided to stop talking to that person. Only an hour later, police broke into my home worried that I might take my own life. They mentioned they knew I was in danger and how to locate me because of SE cooperation. If they didn't show up, I might have did something I might have regret. My point of bringing this up is whatever you say in game is being monitored. They are definitely looking for keywords, but remember, be careful what you say online. In my case, it was a good thing, but for those of you who hate speech or bully others, you might want to reconsider what you say online.
Interesting point there.
Wow, that's a
That's true too, because I've actually in the past remember reading a few articles of similar context that had to do with WoW, and they've actually released statements before, that they absolutely cooperate in
cooperation is one thing, because I'm not sure. I don't think it sounds like this story sort of like implies that maybe Square Enix had sent the alert. Right? Like
I don't know.
I think it was your friend. I think
your friend
was
called the police. Police called SE to get the guy's information.
Yes,
that seems much more likely.
Yes, I agree.
But nevertheless, like, I'm glad like you're alive and like that saved your life. But that is spooky as shit.
It is a bit spooky.
Or it's possible that the friend called the GM and then the GM went from there. Also,
I don't know.
Big Sister Heidelin is watching.
I don't know that it's definitely 100% correlation that just because something like this happened that Square Enix is monitoring and reporting everything that we say. I don't think that's necessarily
whether or not
true.
they're reporting on it, it's there.
Yeah, it is there.
If you get reported for something,
that's right.
That's all evidence.
That's right.
And I also think that they if they were wondering, what kind of proof, SE could literally go back and pull up the chat where he mentioned it.
There you go.
And find it.
There you go. Yeah. So, interesting story, interesting perspective. Yeah, again, Deep Throat, glad that you're still with us in the land of the living.
And the land of Eorzea.
But yeah, that's definitely a bit spooky. Take that with just a little bit of word of caution there.
Attention, ERPers on Balmung, you're being watched.
Your stories are being sold.
They know exactly how gross you are.
Someone's gonna be like looking through like fan fiction online someday and be like, this looks really familiar.
All right, our next email comes to us from Evangelina of the Gilgamesh server, who says they've been a longtime fan to you guys and Gal. Really make my gather and crafting time go by a lot smoother. But let me get into the meat and potatoes of this email. While there's a lot of praise going on for the content in 3.0, I personally feel that SE has been slowly letting down their endgame players. Let me explain. Once you hit level 60, you begin the linear funnel content where all content is vertical. Log gear to Alex normal to ESO gear to Alex Savage Alex / upgrade ESO gear. But let's look at the casual content 1 to 50 and 50 to 59 fates, levs, dungeons, and open world content, etc. And that's not all these casual content give the same reward. No, there's 2 to 3 different sets of gear for the same level of content, where while the endgame raids is a funnel that leads to one harder content that only increases every 6 months. So here's my question: when we fatten up the players with all this casual content, can we really blame them for not getting good when the only thing endgame gives them is that single linear content, which pales in comparison from the power of choice they've been given before? P.S. You're all special snowflakes, especially you, number 6. Thank you very much, Evangeline, for that email. And I think they raise a good point. I think this is something that we've been thinking about and talking about for the last couple of episodes. But, Square Enix definitely has an incentive problem. And, I had suggested on one of I think it was the last episode number 27, that one of the things that they could do is toss a super high level, like an eye level piece that is 1 or 2, steps in the progression ahead of what we have. And someone really took issue with that on YouTube and said that I was encouraging them to add RNG into the game. And yes, I am encouraging them to add RNG into the game. But I think the thing that they didn't understand was that I wasn't asking them to remove the gear that already drops, because what they had suggested was like a token type system. Mm-hmm. And no, what you want is that really, really, really rare chance at getting one, not that it's something that everyone is automatically working towards and automatically assume that they're going to be getting. Yeah, like you're going to get it maybe 2 patches down the line, or you're going to get something equivalent 2 patches down the line. But yeah, until they break from this linear cycle of I love their
breakdown. Yeah,
I love Evangeline's word for it. They call it funnel. Funnel content. I think that's a great term to associate with it, and because it is really linear one to the other. It's a problem.
Yeah. The only extra comment that I could add to that is a way to feel like it's at least opening it up a little bit, and it would really just be widening the funnel. But they need to add isotomes to more events, like the stuff that nobody's doing, right?
Yeah.
What harm do you have putting ISO on hunts? It's not like you can get any more ISO because there's the weekly cap on it, right? Mm-hmm. So all you're gonna do by adding ISO to all of your events is allowing people to do what they enjoy doing.
There is a problem.
They usually do that in progression, though. Like when the next tomes come out, they'll add ISO to.
Oh yeah, when the ISOs are irrelevant.
Yeah.
Good job. Let's add irrelevant rewards to irrelevant content. That's solving the problem.
I think that they have not, and we talked about this before Heaven's Word even came out, but they didn't incentivize going back and participating in Coil at all. All they did was give you a way to kind of outgear it and outlevel it and say, okay, well here, do it with a smaller party or an overpowered party, but like they don't give you a fucking reason to go back and do it. There's no glamour gear, there's no progression gear, there's nothing. There is nothing there. There's not even ISOs.
And this guy calling you out on YouTube for supporting the idea of an RNG concept. Why has RNG become such a demonized concept?
I think
there's such a bad stigma attached to that word. I really don't have a problem with it.
The idea of doing the same thing over and over again for random reward, which it does that already.
Yeah.
Right. But I think where RNG needs to be utilized is to break up the monotony of it.
And it's only really used in cases like ponies or
because
aesthetic shit.
Listen, the Seal Rock, that is exactly what the old PvP used to be, but with RNG, and look how much life it's brought to
RNG
it.
With rules and restrictions. Yeah. I mean, come on, you can't just hear. RNG definitely needs to exist in some places. Yeah. I mean, it has. You can't have a game without it. You really just can't. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much for that email, Evangeline. Who wants to take this next one?
I'll take the next one.
All right.
All right, they say, going back to the lore episode, I am really surprised that nobody mentioned Urianger.
That's a good point. Man.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him, actually.
I did. Especially because he's the last scene of 2.5.
Yes,
right, the cutscene that they're referencing. Yeah,
like
right
the
here.
after credit scene.
He says, at the end of 2.0, Urianger was summoned, quote unquote, to speak with the Asians. What was the meaning of this summons? I personally think that Urianger is an Asian and possibly the Warrior of Darkness. Throughout the entire storyline, we have never seen Urianger's eyes. He is always wearing that dumbass device or sunglasses and makes it a point to hide his face when switching between them. Maybe he is an Allegan. Any thoughts? Jagin Halothrin from Siren Server. Shout out to Dark Legion Free Company and his friends and his numerous link shells.
Don't think he's the Warrior of Darkness because we saw a Hume specifically, but the idea that he could be Allegan in Descent?
Yeah.
Because he's hiding his eyes
interesting.
that could be red. We wouldn't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Yeah, because he's always got the thing.
And if there's some way that he's been around for longer than normal too, it would also explain why he's working with the Asians and there isn't as... Because you would think that there would be this unshakable loyalty to the Scions that would basically be like, look, your Scions are your Asians. You're not working in between. But if he's been around longer and he sees a bigger picture, that would understand why he is willing to associate with them.
I think it would be interesting if he did end up becoming, if they did make him Allegan. I think that would be an interesting twist.
We've also never seen like Ida's eyes, have we? No, we saw a piece of her
we
mask.
saw a piece of it. Yeah,
so her eye wasn't red, right?
Right.
But his could be, and we would never know.
Yeah, because I don't think we've ever seen him without his mask.
No,
at any point.
Of course, Ida's other eye could be.
Oh, fuck off, geez. Oh, come on.
There's precedence with that.
Yeah.
Now can I use my mute juxta button?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Mute juxta.
Don't want it to go to waste.
So, all right. Juxta, why don't you read this next email?
Oh, wait.
Really? All right. Hello, LBR. As episode 27 ended, and
Let's not
mentioned that someone in the chat said something about
I think it's funny.
hating 14. I'm of the opinion that this person is wrong. Whenever I watch or listen to someone on a podcast, they say, I love this, I like that, and there is nothing wrong with this game. It makes me sad. When someone is so positive and there's nothing wrong with this game, makes me think they are trying to convince themselves they like this game. No game is 100% perfect. LBR does not show the positive highlights of 14, but it also shows the negatives. This plus all the salt shows passion that you have for this game, which makes your podcast great, in my opinion, of course. I can understand the passion of the live letter doesn't really give us much information that 3.1 that we didn't already know. What the fuck is up with the Pokemon battles? I want to play Final Fantasy, not fucking Pokemon.
Yes.
Actually, he says Pokemon.
If I wanted to play fucking Pokemon, I would ask my brothers-in-law to borrow his Game Boy and a Pokemon game. Anyway, I love your show. Keep up the good work. Hashtag Paladin for life. John Sinera. John Cena?
Oh my God! Why don't we have that drop ready?
Why?
I know, right? Well, I feel like we'd be stealing other people's jokes at that point. All right,
the whole internet's joke.
Yeah, kind of. It sort of has. But you know what? That did originate on another radio show, so I do kind of feel like we'd be taken from our own. You know what I mean? All right.
Didn't you once say that that's like the whole point of morning shows is to steal from each other?
I don't want to steal jokes, man. Like that feels way closer to stealing jokes than than repurposing somebody's material to make our own. You know? I think there's definitely a distinction between the two.
I feel like John Cena is way beyond a joke at this point.
No,
it's a meme.
He's the new Rick Roll.
It's a Rick Roll.
It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Thank you very much for your email. I gotta say, I agree with you. I agree with you. And by the way, while I've got a second, I feel like I've been doing this a lot. While I've got a second, just want to say, if you're talking shit on me on Twitter or this show on Twitter and not bothering to tag us or at us or like bother to like be confrontational about it, like keep my fucking name out your mouth. Like that's some fucking passive aggressive bullshit. And I don't fucking participate.
That makes you a basic ass bitch.
I don't fucking participate in that shit. So
obviously, because they don't tag you.
I'm thinking if they're scared, they're too scared to tag me because they know that I'll come in and fucking roast
Nero has
them
nothing
alive.
better to do. He will reply to you.
That's true. That is accurate. Anyway, so yeah, if that's you, fuck you, and I'm not gonna let that shit stand.
Okay, hold on now, Mr. Salty Pants. Okay.
What?
Not everything on Twitter is about you.
No, it's not. But I know when it is. So, anyway, all right. Let's take our last email. Who wants to read our last email? All right,
hold on. I'm going to snipe Ascali here for a second because we have a very special guest on the line.
We do.
Who wants to make an announcement? I guess.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Who we got?
Caller, are you on the line?
Hello?
Oh. Hi, Rob.
Hey, guess who?
Hey, hi, Rob from New York. How you doing?
Good. I was watching right now, and I hope I'm not too late.
No, you sliding in right here at the end, man. No, not too late at all. So yeah, it's been a couple of episodes. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I actually have two things I wanted to talk about. One of which was the buff thing.
Okay.
You said what they should have buffs for. I think this would be a good idea to get for people that are just getting started with Final Fantasy 14. I think they should have like a experience point buff for like a certain period of time after you log in. That way you kind of level up a little bit faster.
Oh, they kind of have that already.
Yeah, they already did that with the.
Isn't that Rested XP?
Main storyline quests.
Yeah.
They have Rested XP. If you log off in a sanctuary or in a town, you get more XP when you log back in.
Yeah, that's what that little blue bar on your XP. That's what that kind of demarcates. So they already kind of have that, Robert. I gotta ask, Robert, in the time that you have started calling the show, and now I guess. Do you actually play FF14 yet?
Yeah, I actually got the full version a week or two ago.
Okay, good. All right.
Got it.
Oh, great. That makes me feel it makes me feel a whole lot better about these calls.
What server?
But yeah, I love the game so far. I mean, sure, it's taken me a while to level up and stuff, so I can get to duty. I can't wait to get to Duty Finder. I'm level 6, and I'm like 4 levels away from it.
There you go.
I'm starting to use Duty Finder. I'm hoping what I see with the duties and the duty system, I'm hoping it sounds similar to Kingdom Quest like it did in Fiesta. I'm hoping the two are the same or similar in concept, because if it is, I could probably help people out as a tank. Since I'm a gladiator class.
Yeah, well, we just spent the entire show talking about how good Gladiator is right now. Yeah, well, that's a great story, Rob. Now I know that we tend to ignore Nika a lot in this room, but she asked you a question that you just blew right by. What server are you on, bud?
Corel. Actually.
Okay, Core. Okay, so why don't you share your character name, and then that way we can stop calling you Rob from New York. Maybe we can start calling you by your character name, since that. Or did you call?
Please tell me your character's Rob from New York.
Yeah. If your character name is Rob from New York, I think that would probably.
It's not.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
I knew that would be a big conflict of interest. So I took my Twitch name, right? Foamy Law.
Yeah.
That's actually my character name.
Okay, there.
I took my character name and used it for my. I took my Twitch name and made it my character name.
All right.
Well, good for you, Rob, because I know using real life names that can really break people out of immersion.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. Definitely.
It's pretty awesome too. He's got red eyes.
Oh, he's got red.
I think, and blue hair.
Elegant.
He's an elegant. He's an elegant.
He's a
Lalafell. An elegant Lalafell. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, Rob. Well, we're glad to learn that you are now a denizen of Eorzea.
And possibly a lost Allegon.
For those of you who are on the Coral server that want to give Rob from New York a little bit of your help, Foamy Law is the name of that character. You can find him, help him out. I don't know what else.
I'm also in a free company if anybody wants to join.
Oh.
If they ask me, like, personally, send me a tell or anything, I can send you an invite to the free company.
Well, he'll hook you.
Striking Kindred.
Fucking Robert will hook
I might
you
as well
up.
give him a shout out while I'm at this.
There you go.
Go Dragons!
Go Dragon.
Go Dragons, indeed. Thank you, Robert, for the call, man. It's always good to check in with you. Again, glad to find out that you're finally playing FF14 and that your calls to the show make sense now. So, in all honesty, it is good. I'm glad that we inspired you to check out the show. Check out the game. I know that you've been calling the show now for like 4 or 5 weeks, and so finally pulling the trigger on that. That's cool, man. That's great.
Yep, Rob from New York.
Rob,
and that's the way the news goes.
Rob from New York. Thank you for calling in, man. It's good to hear from you. All right, so let's get this final email out of the way. I can't remember who.
I got it.
Okay, all right.
Wotan Panzer here.
What's up, Wotan Panzer?
Loving the show.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the great work.
It's awesome.
Just finished the live. Skylar, you don't mind if I take the email from you, do you?
Go ahead. I'm having my own moment over here.
Oh, okay, good. Just finished the live stream. Awesome as always. If at all possible, could we talk about this attitude of people going around? Stop me if you heard this. Wow. Paladin is trash right now. Ugh. My ESO body isn't best in slot. What garbage. Etc. Etc. Could we please make a public service announcement to try and stop this? So tired of hearing things like this. Paladins, and any other class for that matter, are not trash.
Yeah, Nika.
Gear is not trash if it isn't best in slot. All gear of the same eye level is usable and usually great for whatever content it was designed to go into. As far as classes go, I'm a Savage Raider. And as far as tanks go, it's all about your skill and the healer's skill. If Yoshi P says every class can beat Coil just fine, then it's true. Let's stop the internet, Reddit, Twitter sheep mentality and smarten up.
Wake up, sheeple.
You don't.
I'm sorry, Yoshi P saying that every job in the game is perfectly viable. That's kind of his business.
Hey, first of all, okay, shit, I lost. God damn it, I had a really good thing going, I lost it. Damn it, Ascalia, that's your fault.
Good, suck it.
You've honestly never said one thing I have ever found at all funny.
Bro.
I wasn't trying to be funny, so that was kind of an irrelevant.
Because you sucked at it.
Anyway, I don't disagree with your comment that says that the internet, Reddit, Twitter sheep mentality has to stop. But I don't think. Dude, I disagree. I think I disagree with your assessment here, because right now, yeah, there are some jobs that are pretty fairly broken, and Paladin is among them.
And as community leaders, if we don't speak up and say something, it might not ever change.
You don't have to agree with Yoshi all of the time. Like, he hasn't really come out and said that. You know, like, he doesn't say everything's fine, shut up. Because obviously he adjusts things. So.
It's true, though. Right now, every class can beat Coil just fine.
This is true.
It's completely accurate.
Yeah.
I will say, and if he meant to put Coil and not Alex, we were talking about jobs feeling differently or whatever. Coil was different. The DPS check wasn't the same. And, like, if you used a Paladin, you could solo tank certain things. There was a different feel for Coil. It's all about the current content, the relevant content, and where the jobs are going, like, you know, just in the current sense of what's relevant. And some jobs will fall behind, and Yoshi, we know, have the faith to adjust it as necessary. So I feel like you almost, I don't want to like call him out, but I feel like he almost has the sheep mentality himself.
Kind of, yeah.
Following what the whatever the devs does is God's word.
Yeah.
And I don't think just because we play this game and we pay them that we are just like worshiping them. We are allowed to have criticisms and feel a certain way.
I totally agree. Now, if you just see a Reddit comment that's like, oh, fucking Astrologian sucks, and you just start parroting that as rhetoric. You know what I mean? Like, I have a real big problem with rhetoric. That's sort of why I tore into that one person who wanted to tell us that we were defending Freeze Peach and all of when you load all of your shit behind rhetoric, it obscures the actual point and the actual opinion that you hold, and you end up just just quoting other people, and you end up speaking in empty fucking platitudes, and that shit pisses me off. Because, you know, like, if there's anything that we do with this show, and we've said this before, it's encourage critical thought, whether it's critical thought of us and what we say, or whether it's critical thought of what the devs for 14 say. I think that just the way that we do this show, the way that we treat our audience, treating them like adults and letting them make up their own mind, and not going, well, this is sort of what the opinion. We're not spoon feeding you stupid fucking garbage. We're having a discussion as players of this game. You're adding to it with your calls and your emails and your chat comments. That's part of the beauty that is a dialogue and a discussion. And I feel that just the way that we program the show, it trains our listeners to be way more critical of shit that even they love or agree with than most fucking people. And I'm proud of being able to put that out there. I think that's that reflects something that I believe in, that criticism is not just someone taking to Twitter and firing off 140 characters of fucking angry nonsense garbage. A critic actually has to be invested in the work that they're talking about in some form or fashion. Either they know a lot about it, they spent a lot of time with it, or it's something that's deeply personal for them, for their criticisms to even land home on face value.
And that last right there, critic gives criticism. You're right. If someone's just shouting out, oh, this is garbage, 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 they're the sheeple. But someone like Nika, who has legitimate reasons behind it, that's different. That is worth it.
And that's the other thing that we do on the show, is that we will say something like that, and then we'll expound on it. We will explain what we mean by it. We don't just say, oh, well, the community thing. I mean, unless it's a joke, like, oh, the Astrologian is crap. Like, if we're digging deep into that, or if Paladin is crap, if we're digging deep into that, we tell you why. And I think that that's an important thing for a show to do, a talk show to do. And
like LOL Dragoon, it's because Ascalia plays it.
Wow, it's a very valid critique, actually.
It's really, really well spoken.
Hey, maybe Mr. Poopy Pants is right.
Who's Mr. Poopy Pants in that one? Is that Ascalia or is that Kahlo?
I'll let the eye of the beholder decide.
Okay, all right. We're gonna leave it up to you adults that are listening, because we don't want to give any.
Who's Mr. Poopy Pants?
We're not going to spoon feed you who's Mr. Poopy Pants. All right.
Thank goodness.
But if everyone in this room had a nose like Ascalia does, we would know. We would know definitively who Mr. Poopy Pants is.
Nice, a Nero with the burn.
Slam!
What the fuck?
I'm so confused. This guy doesn't have a big nose.
I don't know. I was
just
piling on at this point. That's
that's real original for you.
Well, guess what? It's canon now. He has a big nose.
Stop shaming me!
Oh, man. All right. That's going to do it for episode number 28 of Limit Break Radio. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live.
Oh, my gosh. It works because we're ending on a burn from on Ascalia.
Oh, hey.
We can end the show now.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone got one in, except Nika. Nika didn't
never get
because Nika's nice and a good person.
Just to be a sheep like you.
No. Oh, was that a burn? Was that a burn?
She's, Ascalia, you should feel good that she's at least coming to your defense a little bit.
We are
she
Natalia.
Always does.
We're
Yeah.
a team.
Team Natalia for life.
lick my balls.
Except you did leave me to go to Balmung, so.
Yeah. So.
It's true. You can come with.
No.
Please.
I'm alone on Balmung.
I'm not alone on Balmung, hanging out with Kooky. It's awesome.
This just in, Kookie's planning on server changing to Sergeant Anus.
That would be amazing. All right. Yeah, thank you guys for listening live here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. All 194 of you. That's been as high as like 280 today. So thank you guys for checking out the show. If you're listening on the podcast that you can find over at our website, limitbreakradio.com, we invite you to be a part of the live show. You can do fun things like call in live or chat along with us in the chat chat room. We do pay attention to that. We do pull from that. So join us live here on the stream on Sundays, generally starting around 2. Now, Kahlo, next time, are we going to be actually able to start at 2?
I will let you know tomorrow.
Okay, we better, because we've got a final encounter cast that we've got to do.
All right.
So, and then of course, the week after that, no one's going to want to miss this show. I don't want to miss this show, but unfortunately, I have to miss this show because I'm going to be out in Chicago. But it's going to be the very first Limit Break Radio episode ever that does not feature me.
So it's going to be the best one ever.
It's a little bit terrifying.
Nero is going to be out in Chicago, like getting on Twitch on his phone every 5 minutes. Like, are those assholes screwing it up?
I might. I might.
He's not actually going to be able to enjoy himself at all.
It's going to be the most stressful.
You have to admit, you do tend to overreact to stuff.
Maybe I do. But, actually, on Sunday, I should be driving home. So I might, depending on when you guys end up starting, I might be able to.
Well, it'll be earlier because Nika has prior engagements or something.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, this is going to be an interesting show. So make sure you put that on your calendar. 2 weeks from today, we're going to be, these guys are going to be here live for Limit Break Radio, but I'm not. I'm going to be enjoying some sweet bands out at Riot Fest in Chicago. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you're going to Riot Fest for some reason, I don't know. I doubt anyone listening to this would go to Riot Fest. Not because.
I bet some people might.
I don't know.
23,000 people downloading. Not one of them would be willing to go to Riot Fest.
Maybe. Well, I mean, if that's the case, shit, I need somewhere to stay. If you want to put a Nero up for a night, if you live in Chicago or in the Chicago area and you want to put a Nero up for 2 nights, so that I don't have to sleep in my car, that would be most appreciated.
And a Nero was never heard from again.
Someone in the chat is already saying they're going to Riot Fest. There you go.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Find me there. That'll be fun. Riot Fest, that's going to be fucking amazing. No, Riot Fest, the concert, the 3-day concert, not for fucking League of Legends. I don't play goddamn garbage.
Oh, that is awesome.
Fucking Riot Fest is a 3-day music fest out in Chicago. It's going to be amazing. Anyway.
But not as amazing as League of Legends.
Yeah, fuck off. Anyway, that's going to do it here for episode number 28. Join us next week here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We've got a full archive of our show over at our website, limitbreakradio.com. Make sure you go check that out. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave us some love on iTunes or wherever you download your podcasts. We're available on all of the platforms. Stitcher, Radio, whatever. I don't know what the fuck they are. Beyond Pod, we're available at all of them. Wherever you download your podcast, we're there. Just search Limit Break Radio or Final Fantasy XIV podcast. We're going to be the first ones that pop up because we're just that amazing. Please, if you have a couple of bucks rolling around in your budget, head on over to patreon.com/Limit Break Radio and give whatever is appropriate to your budget, whether it's $1, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can give over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. We will thank you. We've got a whole bunch of kickback, givebacks and prizes that you can get from given to us. So we encourage that you do that. Again, patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. We want to thank you so much for your support at Patreon because it allows us to do the show each and every single week, and it really covers all of the production costs associated with Limit Break Radio, and it's really amazing to be doing a show that we love so much and be able to properly support it, whether it's through buying new equipment or just being here each and every single week. It feels really, really amazing, and we're really proud to be able to do that, and that's all because of your support over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I want to thank my co-hosts Juxtaposition, Kahlo Landis, Escalia Rayumasa, and Nika Kayanian for being such great sports today. And of course, as always, I'm a Nero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Kahlo Landis, Aniro Grigori, and Nika Kayanian. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Scry De La Rosa, Zurian Urexin, Satori Komeji, Karquin Albarn, Rajan Nelka, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content. It's the first time I've flubbed.